Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today are my special guests, Null from the Certain Farming of Kiwis, and Sriracha, of course, who joins me on basically all of these Russell Greer shows. Welcome to the show, you two.
Are we on now?
You are on. Yeah, you're not muted. You're not late, muted, or gay anymore.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here again, Nick. And I realize I say this every stream, but this is truly a great section. This chapter is the actual trial, and then we meet Ken again. Ken, of course, Null, if you weren't here for the first couple chapters, you wouldn't know. Ken is Russell's lawyer friend who got burned to death by the Russian mob, and also a Hispanic gentleman named Horatio.
Yes.
What?
No. No.
Are we on chapter 9 or chapter 11?
We're on chapter 9.
Chapter 11. Chapter 9.
Oh,
Sorry.
the chapters are only a couple pages long, so
well,
that's perfect.
Some of them are very, very long. Like chapter 6, I think, was like 35 pages long.
Oh, jeez.
He has consistency issues. The only place where he doesn't have consistency issues is his face, which stays consistent at all times.
I mean, the consistency of having the right muscles seems to be off.
So, yeah, to catch you up, Null, at this point in the book, because you haven't read this book at all, right? Am I correct?
No, I've never looked at it before.
Okay.
I saw the first 2 pages before the stream, and I commented on his choices of everything. Specifically, my favorite part was he mentioned it was copyrighted by the United States Copyright Office, which is redundant. Anything you make is copyrighted. I guess you can file for the copyright ID, but then you would just put the copyright ID. He chose to make it very clear that the United States Copyright Office has looked at this book and probably shake their heads in shame and disgust before filing it away in some dustbin.
Yeah, and he does have a copyright on file for this book specifically.
But does he have a pending patent? That's the question.
I don't know if he does have a pending patent on file for the book.
Patent for suing Taylor Swift to try to get her to suck his penis? No, I don't think that's patented yet.
I'm referencing Melinda Scott, who in her lawsuit against me very, very proudly boasted that she had a pending patent and she couldn't change her name because of that.
Oh, yeah.
So Greer needs to step it up. He needs to get a patent pending.
Yeah,
Nick, this is something you might not know, but Null has been sued, I think, 4 times now.
5.
Yeah.
5.
5.
It's a 5th one. Oh, I do know. I went on his stream the other day when he was sued again, and then I covered it on my stream. I think that same night, and then I got a bunch of angry comments from Melinda Scott.
Oh yeah. Well, she didn't say that she ideated killing you, did she?
No,
she did.
No, she didn't. She didn't threaten to kill me or say that I needed killing, but she did. She did refer to me as a colleague, which might be the death of my career. So,
what does she do for a living? Is she a lawyer?
She's a former law student.
What's weird is that she has 2 different things that she says with that. She says she's either a former law student or an aspiring law student. And it kind of reminds me, I did a stream on a guy from Deagle Nation, Jan Rinkowski, and his character Jace Connors. And Jace would refer to himself as a future former retired Marine, which staggered you when you hear it for the first time. It's like, what does that mean? And then to hear that she's like a former aspiring law student, it's like you need to hash that logical sequence out, because I'm lost. I don't know where the bus took off without me, but it's gone. I'm not on it.
Yeah, that whole thing is very funny. Someone in the chat is asking, who is Melinda Scott? Melinda Scott is a apparently crazy woman with some number of husbands north of like 19 before the age of 12. No, I don't. I don't know.
Jesus.
She has an ambiguous number of former husbands, and her current husband might have pled guilty to pedophilia, some child assault charge. I'm not quite clear on that, but the way it's worded, it seems like maybe she was really mad that people pointed out that he was guilty of a sex offense. So
The best way to sum her up is she's a vexatious litigant who's currently suing me because her neighbors have said that she goes around suing everyone. And she claims that I started that rumor in her lawsuit against me.
Which
I think,
yeah, the best way to prove that you don't go around suing everybody is suing just about everybody.
5 times.
20 actually. She's filed 21 suits and has won one of them because
Jesus.
I don't know why. I think she had a stalker and she got a restraining order.
The big W.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a couple chats, and then we'll get right into the book here. I think that's sufficient introduction. And so the way we do this, Josh, is we alternate reading paragraphs. Typically, we have to comment on we had lots of commentary and jokes because we have to be clear that we are ridiculing everything about this copyrighted created work because ridicule is protected speech and is part of the copyright process, and therefore it makes it a transformative use. So
if that makes you nervous, don't worry. There's plenty of things to ridicule here.
Yeah, so feel free to just bask and simmer in each paragraph and laugh at stuff. If you need backstory, ask questions. Sriracha is an expert on Russell Greer, and we would both be happy to fill you in with any details of the book so far. So let me hit these chats, and then we'll jump in. So I've got one from Mithrin Emrys, who says, "Nice to see you torturing Null by forcing him to read Greer's book. I approve." Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Rick Nikita says, "What's the meaning of life?" I think it's ridiculing Russell Greer is the meaning of life. Then Mithrin Emrys again says, "Question, if Scott, being Melinda Scott, and Greer hooked up, would they create the ultimate lolcow, or would it be a harbinger of the apocalypse?" Oh, God.
If they hooked up?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you get if you mix a Jew and a Latter-day Saints Mormon?
Would that be like a Latter-day Jew? Is that what comes like that? That is the Revelation, right? Like that's the entire book of Revelation is all of the dead Jews come back, I think.
Really?
I think
that's horrifying. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I think that's part of it,
God.
isn't it? Like that's the day of judgment is all of the people rise back up and the chosen from the book of life whose names are etched on the book of life, which we know all the Jews' names are, at least the pure ones from the 12 tribes. Their names are etched in the book of life, and they come back, and then the God sits in judgment over the living and the dead. So
what
yes, literally all of the dead Jews come back, and then God decides whether they should be dead again or if they should live. Along with all the Gentiles, I guess.
Why is he bringing them back to life if he's just going to kill them again?
You know what? We should maybe do a theology stream on Revelation sometime and talk about it. But I don't know if here's the proper place. But it has a lot to do with Jewish conceptions of death and the afterlife, and what happens when you die. I have serious answers for this, but I don't know if we really want to.
I don't think this needs a serious answer. What was I going to say? Oh, I did have someone requested that I call you out on something that you got wrong last
cool.
stream.
Yeah, what's that?
So you said that small claims court trials do not have scheduled hearings. Like everybody, it's like a cattle call. Everybody shows up.
Sure.
Apparently in Utah, a Kiwi Farms user, I think by the name of Deadpool, I'm so sorry if you forgot your name, but I read your comment, said that is not true because, as we will see in this coming chapter, he has a scheduled court time for the Ariana Grande, Anna Smith trial, and he is late for it, and that's a big point of contention with the judge.
Well, they possibly do things just differently in each different small claims court. So I'm willing to accept that 100%. I will take that criticism. I apologize profusely for providing an inaccurate description of a Utah small claims court. So hopefully Horatio doesn't come firebomb my Jetta or whatever.
Got a Molotov cocktail proof your windows.
I'm in the vault. I'm in the vault, Horatio. You can't get me. Okay, so next is Jeff S. It says, FYI, Josh might ask you to eat a lot of food. I don't have any food here, Josh, but I do have whiskey, so I'll consume that for you if you want to feed me, baby.
Pack it down.
Bunny at Law says, managed to stay up for this. Take my money gladly. Thank you very much. Cormoran says, here's hoping Melinda Scott writes a book too. And Mysterious Senor Hilter says, that face when the 6 Gorillion return. Well, there you go. I guess that'd be the bonus of Revelation, is you could actually count how many people died during the Holocaust. Is because they'd all come back and you could just ask them. Right?
Do they still have the tattoos?
I don't know. I don't know if tattoos are preserved. Because I don't know if that would be another theological question maybe. Anyway, let's get into this book, shall we? So since you're new here, Josh, do you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. Chapter 9. She chose him over me. Whispers followed me everywhere I went, in the store, on the public transit, and places I went to go eat at, anywhere. While it was normal but not appreciated for a passerby to gawk at me in public because of my face, I had an extra reason why people stared at me. I was that guy who had sued Taylor Swift. No matter where I went, I overheard, there's the guy who sued that one country turned pop star. What's her name? I don't believe that. That does not sound like a sentence any human being until me reading that sentence has ever said ever.
Now,
what's her name? The most famous pop singer in the world. Oh, fuck, it's slipping my mind. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't swear. Oh, frick, it's slipping my mind.
You can. Swear away. Swear away. It's like the end of Signs, except with swearing instead of a baseball bat.
No way. I don't want God to kill me and then bring me back and then kill me again.
So, yeah, you'll find this, Josh, that everybody on Earth knows that Russell is suing Taylor Swift. Like, everybody he runs into, they all know and hate him. Everyone, universally.
Is he a paranoid schizophrenic?
No, it's just the truth. Because you can't mess with Tay-Tay. If you mess with Tay-Tay, it's over. Your life's over. You should probably just find Greenland and live there.
Taylor has gangs of roving Hispanics that beat the shit out of everyone that causes problems for her.
Okay, sorry. Go on, buddy. I'm sorry.
On other occasions, I heard, there's Taylor Swift's stalker. Sometimes as I walked down the sidewalk, people would come up and take unwanted selfies with me. I had definitely created an unwanted name for myself. My reputation was basically ruined. And I think maybe those voices he's hearing is just his subconscious yelling at him as he goes about his daily life.
As an Easter egg, I got a private message on. It's not really an Easter egg. You guys don't even have to try to find it. It's like never mind. I got a private message from one of Russell's former employers who.
Oh shit! No way.
Yeah, who just said that they found my channel because we were covering Russell, and they were very appreciative of the content. So invite them on, whoever they are. I doubt they will do it, but I'm going to. So because the stories, right?
What I would give.
Yeah. But I will definitely do that. I don't know if they'd be willing to come on or not. But if you are seeing this, person who sent me a direct message on Twitter about your former employee, I will be asking, and please strongly consider it. We can do all sorts of things to keep you anonymous, so that you're not brought into the degeneracy. All right, Sriracha, do you want to take the next chapter?
Of course.
We'll set that up as like the rotation, I guess.
On a few occasions, I had people accost me. One such occasion was in a store. As I stood at a self-checkout paying for my weekly gallon of 2% whole milk and angry.
How do you have 2% whole milk?
What the fuck? Who is drinking? What kind of single man is drinking an entire gallon of milk a week?
Oh, me, baby. I go to the store. I get my milk every day. That's what gives me strong bones.
My IBS is really triggered right now. Get weekly gallon of 2% whole milk. An angry, pudgy female Taylor Swift fan ran up to me, screaming, "You sick freak!" The female fan shouted from the top of her, this is all one sentence, by the way, top of her lungs, her face burning red. You had some nerve trying to accuse Taylor Swift of those things. How dare you? And you're going to sue her again? I stood, stunned and embarrassed, as other shoppers looked on. The female fan knocked the milk out of my hand, and the carton of white goodness splashed all over Taylor Swift's awaiting
He
face
described
and
it as white
breast.
goodness.
Yeah, the white goodness was the actual
Flew
description.
all over the breasts of Kiara the hook. Like a bomb. The plastic container exploded upon hitting the floor, just like I exploded all over Kiara the hook.
I was going to say, I get the feeling that this isn't the first time white goodness spilled because of Taylor Swift.
I'm pretty sure every single night in Russell's dreams, white goodness is spilling on Taylor Swift. He is adamant throughout this book that this is not a date. It's not about a date. None of this is about a date. He's not trying to get a date with Taylor Swift. I mean, he may be trying to spray white goodness on Taylor Swift, but there's certainly no date involved. And Kiara is the censored name of the hooker that he went to the bunny ranch to hire somewhere around chapter 5, 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, this book takes a whole sidebar to detail how he was totally ripped off by a hooker because he paid for 2 hours of her time and then pissed that all away going to Olive Garden.
Yeah,
that's no joke.
He rented time from the hooker and then got a limo and drove her from the bunny ranch to the Olive Garden and then went back to the bunny ranch and was mad when he found out that no, the Olive Garden trip was included in the time. And so he had basically wasted like $4,000 on a trip to Olive Garden. And he was very mad about it. And he actually ended up getting banned from the bunny ranch. Because
well, he should have asked. That's a pertinent question before you take a hooker out.
Right, like why wouldn't you ask?
Look here. What I'm gonna do is I'm hiring Kiara, but what I need to know is, can I take her for the all-you-can-eat soup and breadsticks first? And will that count against my time?
The breadsticks are pretty good. I mean, if I was him, I'd feel kind of ripped off too. Like, bitch, that's fucking Olive Garden breadsticks. That's some good stuff. Why you gotta rip me off for it?
What kind of Olive Garden meal lasts 2 hours too? That's way too long.
She was burning she was burning the candles as long as she could. She kept him engaged in conversation to make that 2 hours.
That's true. If the alternative is to have sex with Russell Greer,
she knew what she was doing. She was wily.
I'm going to eat my Italian wedding soup one spoonful at a time.
So Eric Blum says the Streamlabs chat is disabled. Do you mean the Stream Me chat? Stream Me chat is open. It shouldn't be disabled. And the Streamlabs chat, I got one a little bit ago from Cormoran, so it should be working. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm not going to try and fix it on the fly. Oh, Keck just sent one, so it should be good. And since we're at a brief pause, let me catch up on some of these. Tillip says shill the merch. Yes, I will shill the merch, although I have a new shirt that I didn't have time to get set up before the stream. Mr. Snuffle says, did you see you made it into an Aiden Paladin video? I did. Thank you, Aiden, for that. I appreciate it. Chris R says work got canceled tonight due to this poopy Michigan weather, so I actually get to watch one of these live, even have beer and snacks. God is good. that he is, friend. Doug Confair says that's Milk's name, Albert Einstein. That Milk's name, Albert Einstein. Okay. And Keck7Go says carton of milk effing exploded on the ground when it fell. Are your milk containers made out of glass? WTF. Also, hi Nick, hi Sriracha, hi Null. Good morning to you all. Good morning, Keck.
Good morning.
Before I continue with this next paragraph,
the next one's mine, buddy. Don't you dare.
Oh, my bad.
But yeah, what's up?
Prostitution is legal in Japan, and the logic behind it is specifically that cripples would never have sex without prostitution. So it's permitted.
Russell Greer is also suing the state of Utah to force that to happen.
Well, he should cite Japan. Japan's got that stuff on lock. I went to Japan with a cripple, and he made use of that provision for kinky Japanese SoPal sex.
Is it really legal now? When I lived there, it was legal. It was not legal, but for some reason, what I was told was that when they wrote the law, they somehow felt the need to specify that penis in vagina sex was illegal. Like they defined sex as a penis entering a vagina. So everything other than that is totally legal. Is that not the case anymore? Did they
I
just
don't
legalize
know.
all of it?
I'm pretty sure that sex is permissible in the soap houses.
I mean, how would you
Um,
ever regulate that?
it's like the same as like how gambling is legal. Like if you don't know, in Japan, you go to a gambling place and then you buy tokens with money. And when you cash out, they give you tokens back, but they don't give you money. So you have to go outside to like an outhouse bank thing and you sell the tokens to another person, an independent company that gives you the cash back. So you can go gambling, but in order to cash out winnings, you have to go through this weird process. And like even as like you're Bakugaijin, you walk into the gambling establishment, and the Japanese people, they're very polite. They grasp their hands and they bow at something that you're indicated you're supposed to go to and shit. It's it's easy to figure out, but it's just like this is clearly them circumventing some weirdly specific law that's completely ineffective in practice.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. So someone's asking why the chat is not working on StreamMe. I don't know. Everything's set up to work. I'm able to type into it, but I can't fix that. Anyway, let me
Japan, pachinko, gachapon, legal anal sex with hookers.
Is it legal to have sex with Dakimakura pillows or whatever?
Well, they can't consent because they're 12. So no.
That's right. That's right. What if your pillow's really old? Like, what if you bought it and had it for 6 years, so now the pillow is 18?
I think that's one of those deals where it's like, oh, she is 500 years old, but she just looks 8.
Yeah, she's really an ancient golden dragon. Okay, almost comically, the lady slipped in the milk and fell on the floor. Well, that's rude, Russell. Why are you laughing at someone falling? Growing more upset, the lady sat in the milk and incoherently blamed me for her falling. People ran over to her and helped her. Nobody bothered to ask me if I was okay after being verbally assaulted. Shockingly, people are more concerned about a woman falling down than a man standing there. I don't know why. I was fine, though. Sensing that this was my cue to leave, I left the store without any milk. It was disappointing because I was really looking forward to having cereal that night. On other occasions, I had people shout at me, "Maybe I should sue you for being ugly." This is one of those few things that I believe 100% happen in this book. A bullseye was on my back for suing America's Princess of Pop. Okay, go ahead, Josh.
Princess of Pop. The winter of 2016-2017 was a dark one. My heart felt as cold as the ice hanging from my house roof. Things just kept getting worse. It was a chilly Thursday, weeks before Christmas, that I stood in the conference room of my insurance office, facing 3 head partners. Mr. Greer, the head partner, Mr. Brown. Oh, God, that sentence was so poorly structured. Mr. Greer, the head partner, Mr. Brown said, looking at me, "The past few weeks have been very difficult for our company because of you. Hundreds of emails have clogged up our inbox pertaining to you, and frankly, we don't have the patience for this or your antics. With that said, I'm giving you the chance to deny everything. I'm giving you the chance to say it was all just a stunt and that Taylor Swift doesn't owe you a thing. Go ahead." You believe that happened?
Oh, I 100% believe this happened.
Yeah, I think it was probably more forceful than what is being conveyed. Like, you will deny this or you're done. And I don't mean fired. I mean Horatio will come get you.
Why would you even give him the chance to deny it? Just be like, hey, you're being a spurg on the internet. Leave.
Yeah, please go. Please go. And when you go, you also have to announce that you have left the company and no longer to email us, please.
Yeah, or
please,
we'll sue you because we're a law firm. I stood thinking and remembering all that I had went through. I had put myself and loved ones through hell because I was truly believed in what I was arguing for: celebrity duty and celebrity influence. To deny it all now for a job would be spitting on, why is that in quotes? My family. To deny what I had. I think you're spitting on your family all the time, Russ.
Yeah, only if your family is present and you're speaking are you spitting.
And also everyone you interact with, I think. To deny what I had discovered to be true would be lying to myself. Okay, and Josh, I'm going to do that thing that I do when I do Russell's voice, is I hook my finger into my lip and I pull it down as far as it can go until I spill drool on myself.
You should get a prosthetic.
Yeah, where's the lips, Nick?
They're right here.
Oh, yeet.
They're coming.
While I'm truly sorry for all I thought accomplished through, I began, celebrities giving themselves chances of a duty to the public to have disclaimers.
Oh, good Lord! One of the partners cried out, shaking her head.
Well, Mr. Greer, Mr. Brown said, it's clear that you have made up your mind that you no longer want to work for this company. So I bid you farewell. You may go and pack up your belongings.
Let me take this one, sir.
Please.
Sure. Let me explain. It all makes sense. I tried explaining. Oh, wait. I thought one of you would take over from the next spot.
Oh, wait, no, I was wondering what you were... No, Mr. Greer, Mr. Brown said blankly. It's foolish. I don't need a Looney Tune working for this company. And just like that, I was let go from another job because of Taylor Swift. Ridiculously, they were treating me as if I was a felon or a sex offender. Yeah, what a crazy jump that last one is, isn't it?
Whenever I heard Taylor's music, I would cry. Oh, wow.
Me too, but for different reasons.
That's pathetic.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at my pain?
Oh, man. That caught me off guard. I wasn't...
What caught you off guard?
Whenever I heard Taylor's music, I would cry. That was like out of left field. That's like getting hit by a car in terms of suddenness.
That statement is like the least weird thing in this book.
I'm just imagining him like in an Applebee's or something, eating some mozzarella sticks out of like a taster basket of like 5 different, like a sampler. And then just like a Taylor Swift song comes on, he just starts crying into his martini, his Appletini. Like that's my mental image of this.
You're at the gym and you're lifting weights, and then suddenly they play "Look What You Made Me Do," and he just bursts into tears.
It hurt my heart to think of someone who hurt me so much. I wanted to forget her. I searched for a sense of purpose. The trial replayed in my nightmares. Sometimes I would have dreams of Taylor standing in a field surrounded in light, and I would run towards her, wanting to be in her light. But no matter how hard I ran at her, I kept running in place. Eventually, the dreams vanished. I'm so glad I got that paragraph. That was a juicy one.
You pronounced vagina wrong.
Vagina.
You see, the light represents the cervical mucus.
Oh,
And Taylor Swift represents Taylor Swift. Is it my turn, Nick?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a sip of whiskey. But you go
Do
ahead.
it. Hang on, I'll mute.
Oh, that's just delicious.
Does it hurt going down? It looks like it hurts going down.
This isn't being bigoted. This is Nick Rekieta trying to understand somebody's condition. Mm-hmm. This is a learning experience.
I'm getting better at it. I used to spill whiskey all over my lap.
Towards the end of December, Ken called me. Ken, of course, the burned up lawyer who has horrible scars all over his body. He had been released from the hospital and was slowly recovering at home. Russell, don't turn on the TV or the news for a few days, Ken warned. But curiosity had always killed me. I loaded CNN.com on my laptop, and the breaking news story read, Taylor Swift visits 95-year-old fan. My heart dropped. I couldn't believe what I saw. I was so upset. While I wanted to be happy for the elderly man, he did absolutely nothing to deserve that. That, of course, being a visit from Taylor Swift.
This is the premise of his entire lawsuit.
I love the next sentence. Like, he wrote that and immediately realized what a bastard he sounded like.
Yeah, like
No.
if you have to say as conceited as this sound, you could have just not wrote that sentence, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're the editor.
But yeah, so the purpose of his lawsuit is that Taylor Swift was recognizing the gifts of other people publicly by either like giving them a shout out on Instagram or like going, and visiting them or going to prom with some, pimple-faced kid in high school or something. And so for her to visit a 95-year-old fan right after the lawsuit that she probably didn't even know existed ended was like her shoving a cold steel dagger right through Russell's black withered heart.
Which I think she literally does in the last dream sequence of this book. Spoiler alert. As conceited as that sound, it's the truth. I can't mince my words. Well, you can because you're editing the book. But it was almost like Taylor was flipping me off with that publicity stunt. I tried contacting the CNN reporter, Chloe Melas. Is that sounds Spanish, right? Who covered the meeting between Taylor and the old man to tell Chloe about the unfairness. But Chloe simply said, "We're too short-staffed to cover your story." The media bias was strong.
See, we need to stop doing this pussyfooting stuff where we say we're too short-staffed. Like, his response should have just been, "You are like a garbage. You're a human garbage, and you need to stop because this is pathetic." Like, if more people were blunt like that, the world would be a better place.
I mean, they probably didn't want to get dragged into court.
Yeah, that
people
meeting.
Stop being afraid of that too. Just do it.
Yeah,
just do what's necessary.
Just do it. That meeting.
Do it.
This is not sponsored by Nike. That meeting between Taylor and the elderly man proved to be too much for me. Distraught about that, and with the feeling of gloom hanging over me, I decided I couldn't take the pain any longer. Well, we know how this story doesn't end because he did write the book. I couldn't live anymore knowing that my celebrity crush hated me for being nice to her, while she continued to flaunt her fame and visit those who did nothing for her. She simply visited the man because he was old? ? The absurdity and the irony hurt my head. So one afternoon, I got off on a random track stop and sent a cryptic mass text to everybody in my phone. I'm sorry. Love you all, the text read.
They probably all thought, "Oh, thank God."
Oh my God. Oh my God, I just remembered this, Nick. This is where Russell Greer, at the end of this chapter, meets the Kevin Landau of Utah. And I can't wait. I'm sorry, I was just overwhelmed with passion. Go ahead.
I couldn't live anymore and bear the thought of what Taylor Swift did to me. I couldn't live with the thought of knowing that I hurt innocent people with my rhetoric.
What Taylor Swift did to me, aka literally nothing.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing for. She did nothing.
To make things worse, Taylor began dating a no-name British actor who, again, most likely didn't do anything for her. He probably just simply lifted his pinky and said, "I'm an actor. Date me." Why don't you try that, Russ? He did nothing for Taylor to show that he was genuine or that he cared. He just used his sort of fame to get with her. It was ridiculous and heartbreaking.
I think he might be talking about Calvin Harris, who is British but is not an actor.
I don't even know who that is. So I guess Calvin Harris is a no name.
He's a DJ, and he's probably the most famous DJ in the world.
Now,
You know, that's an alpha move, though. You walk up to somebody like Taylor Swift and you raise your pinky and just say, "Date me." Like she might pinky promise on that stuff.
I'm an actor. Date me.
Yeah. That's a baller move.
Like Taylor Swift doesn't spend all day interacting with actors. That's like saying I'm an accountant to her.
Well, I mean, if you did that, you'd probably have similar success rate. Why does she care? You don't need to support her.
That's fucking true.
Okay. In the distance, the tracks train quickly approached. The metal train crossing arms came down, lights flashing and bells chiming. Barreling. This is like a complete non sequitur from that previous paragraph. Is he like standing in front of a train? Is this how that connects? Barreling down the track, the train must have been going 60 miles an hour as it pulled 3 passenger cars, all connected to each other. Upon seeing me standing in the tracks, the train driver began blowing the train horn. He is standing in front of the tracks. The train horn. Not in my best state of mind, I walked towards the approaching train, wanting death. The loud screeching. The train brakes were applied, but the train still moved quickly forward. People began shouting at me as thoughts consumed my mind. What does death feel like? Is it quick? What happens after we die? Is it just pitch black, or is there truly life after this? I continued to ask myself questions, preparing myself for the impact. Despite all of my rhetorical questions, I only hoped that suicide would free me from the mental anguish that Taylor Swift had inflicted upon me. As the train continued to come at me, a middle-aged man pushed me out of the way. We both fell to the pavement. Mere seconds later, the train rolled by. What are you trying to do? Kill yourself? The man asked me in a rude, scared to death way. What an asshole. Being rude. I can't believe somebody risked their life for this fucking asshole.
Well, no, I gotta
do? Kill yourself.
I got big news for you. This didn't happen, so don't feel too bad.
Yeah, no, this is like.
I'm guessing there's not. I guess he wasn't involuntarily committed after this, which is probably what would happen if somebody had to push you out of a train's way in public like this. Probably go to psych or something, and there'd be a record of it.
I mean, yeah, that's typically happen when you fail suicide, right?
I don't know.
Nick,
I've never tried.
Nick, can you take the last two because it requires? Oh wait, no, there's only one word. Yes, I blankly responded, catching my breath, not believing that I had gotten so close to killing myself. The man studied me, and then an expression formed on his face as if he knew who I was. Because apparently everybody in fucking Utah knows the name Russell Greer.
I love the fact that he wrote in here that the guy who saved him from committing suicide had instant regret when he figured out who he was. He wrote that in his memoirs on his own volition.
No, that's true. If this guy is alive and well, then he is definitely going to hell because for stopping this natural chain of events.
God's like, I had this set up just fine, Walter.
He was going to do it himself.
I didn't even have to smite him. He had self-smite on.
What did Farrah Abram ever do to you, Walter?
Wait, did he stalk Farrah Abraham?
Oh, yeah, he sued, long story short, this is Spark Notes. He sued Farrah Abram because Farrah Abram liked a tweet of his that said, Farrah, we should go to it. Like, it was some unpaid intern running Farrah Abram's Twitter, liked a tweet that said, Farrah, we should go on a date. She did not proceed to go on the date. So then he tried to sue her for the date. And then, like a dog with its tail between his legs, he ran away, scampering, and shit his pants when he found out that they were planning on countersuing him.
Did we... Null, were you and I talking about promissory estoppel the other day?
Yes. Yeah.
Farrah Abraham liked my tweet. It's promissory estoppel. She now
yes,
has to
I remember at the time that I first read his lawsuits, I had just read in my books about the concept of people making an agreement and some people putting money towards that agreement and then other people backing out after the fact, and you can sue to get that money back because you promised to do something that you didn't do. And then like right after that, I guess we read the same book and he based his entire lawsuit after that concept. And I was like, oh, that's coincidental.
Let me get through a couple chats and oh wait, no, there's one paragraph.
Here, I'll close it out.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You're the guy who was on the news, the man stated. You sued Taylor Swift. I nodded my head, expecting him to go bananas on me like everybody else had, but he just smiled. Oh my God, his name is literally Walter. What? Nick, do you have powers? Can you choose lottery tickets for me?
No, I read it. I read.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck you. I don't want your lottery numbers.
No, you don't. Not any good.
My name's Walter, the man said, and you're ... Russell Greer.
Let me say, guys, I must have broken the Stream Me chat. I'm sorry. I guess I have it to subscribers only somehow, and I can't change it on the fly. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry. So I apologize. Yeah, I'll get it fixed next stream. Okay. Danny Rendon says, I want more Sriracha. What's she do outside these streams? She a YouTuber, a streamer, a Twitter troll? I need answers. If you check the description of the video on YouTube, you can see that her twitch.tv channel is linked on there. So go ahead and follow her on Twitch. And then you can follow her on Twitter at delete your account. Or is that delete your account?
I'll put it in. Yeah, no, you're right. I am also a Twitter troll. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really nice of you.
No problem. And also, I do have Null's website. Oh, not me. Sorry.
No, the guy that complimented me.
Well, fine. Screw you then. I'm deleting everything from the description.
Screw you. I'm deleting you from the internet.
My very famous website, netattheinternet.com. Everybody knows about that one.
Yep, that is also linked in the description. I went there today. It was very thorough.
It's very professional. See, I believe in a minimalist approach to web design.
Did you design it with Flash or Java? Because I can't tell. It's very interactive.
Oh, I was going to make a joke about some old Adobe product that you can make websites in like the late 1990s, and I've completely forgotten about it. It's like Adobe DreamWorks or something.
I make everything in Microsoft Silverlight.
Dreamweaver. That's it. It was made in Dreamweaver.
Don Palmera says, Japan sounds totally crazy. Well, yeah. Yeah. Tech7Go says, Kentucky governor's lawyers... Kim Davis failed to do her job as clerk, must pay $225,000 in legal fees. How much did the state of Kentucky lose on state lawyers? Would you ever defend the state in a legal case? That'd be a tough one. I don't really care for the state. Siren Jag says, yes, Greer is a sex offender. I find the thought of Russell Greer having sex to be offensive. Why is that hard to understand, Nick? Why? Sex is not supposed to be like a Gallagher show. The thought gives me glaucoma. A Gallagher show? Like the people in the front row need to wear ponchos or whatever?
What does that mean? What's a Gallagher show?
Oh, Gallagher's a comedian from like the late 70s to mid 80s, and he had a bit called the Sledge-O-Matic where he had a giant sledgehammer and he would smash various fruit on the front on stage. And so the front rows of his show had to wear ponchos because you'd have like watermelon juice or pineapple juice all over you.
Oh God! All right.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Andrew Mohan says, "How can you read this, Nick, and not want the death penalty?" Null's profile is.
Wait, you're anti-death penalty?
I am. I have a nuanced lawyerly position on it. Because I have, that's how I live. No, I believe that the state has the power to impose the death penalty. I don't have faith in the American government to do it competently. That's my position on the death penalty. Null's profile is Cancer 148 Gang. So thank you.
Oh, he's referring to my Kiwi Farms profile. All the text is in rainbow and then plays music about Japanese goblins.
That's awful. Why would you do that?
So people stop sending me messages.
Why wouldn't you just have menacing fang-bearing canine.
I've tried that. It didn't work. I had to add the Japanese goblins to scare them away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if we've got no more super chats, I'd like to get us to court today.
Yes. Sorry. Let's. This is where I get to start.
Hell
I
yeah.
get to start this. Chapter 10. The $50 million Taylor Swift lawsuit.
He sued her for $50 million. Really?
He just sued her for $100 million.
Is he Maddox? Is he trying to compete with Maddox for most
Probably.
preposterous sum?
No, that was 200 million, I think, right? Wait, how much was that? I don't
It
even
was like
remember.
20. We couldn't decide because of how the lawsuit was written if it was $20 million total or 20 million times the number of alleged torts, which would
No,
be
it
like
was-
$220 million.
Each tort, I think, was like 5 to 18 million.
Yeah, well, some of them were 20, and then there was one that was like 1 million, and then there were several that were 5 to like 20 million, and it was ambiguous as to who was responsible for what amounts and stuff like that. God, was such a mess.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, did I tell you I saw Kevin Landau in court the other week, and his pants are now too tight.
I heard that he was wearing some skin slappers.
Oh God,
But
yes,
are you in,
Landau's
you're
gas.
in New York and you're going to see the people in court in person?
I live in New York, so yeah, it's a quick train ride for me.
You know,
That's funny.
she is pretty good friends with the Stereos.
I would
Oh,
say.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say we have like special rewards for people who go to locale court stuff.
Oh,
Like,
really? I should next time I'll take notes.
yeah, like that started way back in 2012 when we had two women named Cian and Indigo go to the first court cases that Chris Chan was involved in, and we started handing
okay.
out court
Well, next
reporter
time-
awards for that.
Luckily, the one I was at was just continued. So maybe next time something interesting will happen. I'll definitely take notes there. It would be easy to sneak a tape recorder in, but I am a upstanding
No,
citizen.
don't do
so
that.
I won't do
Don't
that.
create liability for a forum trophy. That's retarded.
Wait, continued to when? Did they decide?
April 3rd.
Oh my god, I'm waiting for anything.
know.
Like I still check that stupid website and see if new documents pop up. So okay, the first line. I'm sorry, it kills me. Oh wait, no, an hour after. I thought it said after an hour. Sorry, an hour after I had failed to kill myself. I thought it said after an hour I had failed to kill myself.
I was still trying. I was waiting for the trains, but they must have been on a delay or something.
That fucker Walter kept dragging me off the tracks. I kept telling him to leave me alone, but he wouldn't.
Walter,
I'm
run
suing
me
him next.
over! An hour after I had failed to kill myself, my new acquaintance and I sat in a booth at a buffet. Walter was a lawyer, which is why he was hanging out at the train tracks, who had been actively following my case. Apparently, he had tried messaging me on social media, but since every other message in my Facebook inbox consisted of threatening and harassing messages from strangers, I never checked my inbox. Walter actually agreed with my lawsuit and agreed that the judge was not biased. The judge was the noun bias.
He does that a lot. And I'm really amazed that he hasn't learned yet.
And that John Smith was a dirtbag. John Smith is definitely not superstar Playboy lawyer Greg Skorda.
Who fucks hookers on his way into court.
And in court and in judges' chambers.
And then he rails cocaine off of the bench every time he wins
doesn't
it.
even take I bet he doesn't even take them to Olive Garden.
No, he does shots right out of the judge's navel.
Oh, can I say though that I can disprove that this story happened simply by the fact that the guy that tried to save him was a lawyer? Lawyers would never go out of their way to save somebody. You know how much liability that creates for you if you try to help somebody? Screw that.
What we do is immediately turn around and close our eyes because we can't represent someone if we're a material witness. So I didn't see the train hit him. I was right there, but I happened to turn away at the last moment, so I can definitely represent him, but I'm pretty sure the train did. I finally felt vindicated and understood. Don't try killing yourself again, but I totally understand why you tried doing it, Walter said as we both ate extra helpings of breakfast food. There's some very vicious people after you. They're the insane ones, not you. Are you still thinking of filing that federal lawsuit that was mentioned on the news?
I'll take the next two because the second one's only a sentence. Okay, I guess I have to do the thing. Hold up.
Yeah.
I kind of said in the heat of the moment, I
Pull
explained.
your lip down more. Pull your lip down more and try it again.
Pull
I have
harder. Pull harder.
my lips are dry. They'll bleed. I can't do it.
Well,
Leave
listen,
for the
Russell has to
stream.
deal with this every day. The least we can do while critiquing his work is try to understand his pain.
Yeah, what?
You're telling me to
gonna
suffer
let
for my art? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it is.
Russell has like 30 years of pain, and you're complaining about a chapped lip? Come on.
I am. It's really dry. I don't want to break it. Oh, Jesus. I kind of said that in the heat of the moment. I explained to Walter, you should do it. I will help you, Walter encouraged. Imagine if the jury awarded you half of Taylor's net worth. You would be so rich. Walter had dollar signs in his eyes. He seemed to be after some of Taylor's money, too. I had never, ever wanted any of her money. I had only wanted fairness. To be honest,
sex.
I really didn't know what I wanted.
Hey, Nick, hashtag not a date. What the fuck? Inappropriate. To be honest, I really didn't know what I wanted, which is why I sued her for, I don't know, fuck it, $50 million. Feels not reals, guys. Days later, oh wait, Walter, by the way, is, oh wait, I already made that joke. Kevin Landau of Utah.
Yes.
Days later, I met up with Walter in his humble office located on the 4th floor of a building in downtown Salt Lake City. A Juris Doctorate hung on his wall, identifying him.
A Juris Doctor, Russell. Not a doctorate. It's not a Juris
not a
Doctorate.
doctorate?
It's a Juris
Really?
Doctor. It's just called a Juris Doctor. You do not have a Juris Doctorate.
Oh, wow, I learned something today.
It's just a Juris Doctor. That's what it's called.
A Juris Doctorate degree hung on the wall, identifying him as a true blue through and through lawyer. So we wouldn't be able to sue her for slander, as she's protected by a thing called the litigation privilege, which is some bullshit thing that says you can lie about whatever you want and you're protected because it's all a part of the legal process. Walter told me. Nick, is that accurate?
I mean, to a point. To a point, it's accurate. But you can't like blatantly lie to the court. As you know, as someone you know is about to find out, right? Like you can't just blatantly lie.
If you file like an answer to a complaint, and you have like as a like a Microsoft Word footer that shows up on every page, and it's just something like plaintiff raped and murdered a girl in 1990, is that permissible? Is that part of the litigation privilege?
No, it's not. The litigation privilege basically protects you when you're filing your answer to a complaint, right? And you say that you deny anything ever happened, and then a jury goes through and says, no, this actually did happen, even though you denied it, and you're legally liable. Then you don't get sued for perjury just because you said something did or didn't happen, and then the court found the opposite. That's the litigation privilege. It's not like a blanket, way to defame someone or to, do stuff like that.
But isn't the opposite not true? If you plead guilty, then, I mean, technically that means that you did it, right? Which is why you have to plead like nulla contendere or something if you don't want to plead guilty.
I mean, not really. You could still deny doing it, and they can't tag you for perjury or or like making false statements during the court process in a criminal case. The nullo contendere or no contest or an Altford plea or whatever, those are useful in various other instances. Like maybe you plea, but you're hoping that there's an issue on appeal that will be resolved, and it could be problematic for you to admit to certain facts in a case. So you would just say that you don't recall those facts, but you plea that you can't specifically affirm or deny a fact, but you recognize that they have enough evidence to go against you, if that makes sense. You could get a lot of information Googling an Altford plea or a Norgard plea. They're the basically all the same thing. But yeah, I can't recall. Like maybe you were blackout drunk, so you can't testify that you did something while you were blackout drunk. So that would be a lie. But you testify that there's video evidence of you doing a thing while you were blackout drunk, so you accept that they have that evidence. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
That's what the nolo contendere or no contest plea is for, technically. But yeah, sorry.
So are you telling me that Taylor Swift was lying when she said that she found Russell invasive and troubling? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep, she definitely was, and Walter's just wrong. Those mean defamatory statements.
Every single day, Taylor cries in her room because she wants to talk to Russell, but her mean old agents won't let her.
Right.
It's all a part of the legal process, Walter told me. But I really like your failure to warn argument. That's where I see us prevailing. Nick, you're shaking your head. What does that mean? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you again.
No lawyer would say, I really like your failure to warn argument to Russell Greer.
Fucking Kevin Landau. I'm headcanoning that Walter is actually related to Kevin Landau, because you know how there's a Landau in California and there's a Landau in Michigan. I'm headcanoning that Walter Landau is
that
part
why
of
he was
this
at the
family.
train station?
Walter's a pseudonym for Zach. Yeah, Landau was just on the way to that. At the time, didn't he own he owned like a clothing store in L.A. Kevin did. So Walter might actually be Kevin Landau.
And this Landau is what the Walter Landau is taking the train because he's also an alcoholic who can't drive.
Listen, Russell. I can't tell you why, but it takes me a really long time to walk across the state of Utah, so I actually have to take a train. But just know that I can't drive a car.
I have a license. Well, I had a license. Anyways, while I was on board with Walter's plan, I couldn't tell if he was acting in my best interest or if he simply wanted his hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. It made me uneasy because money was far from what I wanted. I only wanted Taylor to be held accountable for her negligent actions and to not go on a date with me.
Yeah, how are you going to hold her accountable if not by money, Russell? That's what money in lawsuits is for. With fervent enthusiasm, Walter spoke of how we could bankrupt Taylor Swift and derail her career. She'll be sued so hard no one will buy her music anymore. It was like he savored what he was saying, enjoying the thought of destroying Taylor Swift.
You know why he's writing this, right?
What was that?
You know why he's writing this, right? Making this up to try and make himself look better and clear up his intentions. He's not trying to.
No, this definitely happened. This is real.
Wait, so you're telling me that a lawyer didn't randomly save him from a train track and then offer to throw his career into a toilet by pursuing a frivolous lawsuit? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying that the entire point of this is to make him look better, make him look like a Jesus Christ type figure because he's sacrificing himself.
I don't know. This sounds like a real interaction to me.
Yeah. Josh, I think you're reaching here. There are some things I would agree with you on, but this one I definitely
Listen, I live in New York City, so I save people from trains very frequently. And every time I do, I always offer to sue their greatest celebrity enemy afterwards. It's not weird. It's just something you do. Because,
of course, being in New York and being a Juris Doctorate holding lawyer that you are, yes. You're familiar with all of their cases because you've been following them. Definitely.
Like a hawk. Every single one in the New Yorks.
Okay, let's take Russ at his word here for a second, though. Let's take him at his word for a second.
Okay.
Everyone who's following this lawsuit is trying to literally kill him. Right? Like, Horatio, all of the people at the Whole Foods or whatever who hate him, the woman who killed his milk carton, everybody who's following this lawsuit hates Russell Greer with undying passion. One guy comes up, saves him on accident, is like, oh, you're that guy. And is like, I actually know you're that guy. I've been following your case. Russell should immediately distrust him based on the law of numbers alone. Like, if everybody hates me, this guy should also probably hate me. Like, why?
I mean, I guess my answer to that would be if you recognized Russell Greer and you still saved him from a train. Cause like Nick, I'm not saying I think Russell should die, but would I throw myself in front of a train for Russell Greer? No, absolutely not.
What about like a small train, like one
How
that had
small we're talking?
like a Thomas the Tank Engine with batteries?
Not even a small child, Thomas. Like one of those ones that goes on the wooden tracks. I don't even think that.
Okay. I still had a soft spot in my heart for her, and I didn't want to hurt her. I only wanted her to have her eyes open and swallow the bitter This is very sexual. Very
Swallow
sexual.
the bitter hot milk that spilled all over.
Wholesome whiteness.
Wholesome whiteness. Wait, what did he call it? The white goodness?
White goodness. White goodness. Very racist of Russell. And swallow the bitter truth and accept
Racist.
what she did to me.
What color is your ejaculate?
He just likes white goodness. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, Russell Greer is also a virulent racist.
Nick just prefers chocolate milk. That's what he's saying.
Don't tell your wife that.
I would never broadcast any of this to the world.
Except on YouTube.
Yeah. In a matter of minutes, legal papers were printed out and Walter placed a pen and the papers in front of me for me to sign. Mr. Greer, I'll have you read and sign. I'm also going to require a $500 retainer. Walter explained with a smile. I was in a deep thought as I studied our contract. Just one, though. Just one deep thought. Here, let me get this line out of the way.
He's got a one-track mind, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying?
One track, like a train that's running you over. Can I think over this? I asked. Just think this over, Russell, not think over this.
Well, he's thinking
He's
over.
Thinking over.
Because he's missing the point, is what he's saying.
Can I think over this? I asked.
Sure, Walter said very politely. Metaphorically, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. If I signed the engagement agreement, Walter would be my attorney, and all hell would break loose with Taylor, as I imagined her and John Smith wanted to happily countersue me. If I didn't sign it, Taylor would get away scot-free and continue to mislead with her publicity stunts, harming myself and people like Max, the dying hospital boy. I was in the dilemma. Turning to my one friend who supported me the entire time, I made my way over to Ken's home.
Wait, Sriracha, help me out. Did he not visit Max? Is that what happened?
Oh, he of course he visited Max, the dying boy. Null, you could fill in on this too. Russell visited a boy in the hospital in a definitely true story that absolutely did happen because he was volunteering, and the boy said at the last second, "I'm dying of cancer, and my only wish is to have Taylor Swift come visit me because Taylor Swift showed that she had a duty to visit everyone because she visited other people on the news." Nick, are you asking me if this is a real story that really did happen?
No, I couldn't remember because he said he harmed himself and Max, the dying hospital boy.
Oh, no, Nick. You see, many people believe that Russell is suing Taylor for a date. That's actually not true. This is hashtag not a date, but he is suing on behalf of Max, the dead 7-year-old, or the dying 7-year-old in hospital, who knew that Taylor had a duty to warn with her publicity stunts.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Taylor Swift would visit a dying 7-year-old that wanted to see her. I don't think she would ignore that.
I mean, there's a lot of dying 7-year-olds in the world.
But not many of them want to see Taylor Swift. Most of them, they're telling the Make-A-Wish people, I want to not die of cancer. Not many of them are like, I want to see Taylor Swift. Like, why would you want to see Taylor Swift? If that's your last wish, go to Nepal. Go have a Buddhist journey, enlightenment journey in Nepal.
I don't know if a 7-year-old wants to go to Nepal for an enlightenment journey.
I don't know what 7-year-old
also, you know that flight is like 17 hours long. That is a nightmare.
That's more than the life expectancy of Max.
That's a nightmare, and I don't have cancer.
What was
I think it's my
no.
turn.
Yeah. I was just making sure there wasn't something. I thought I was gonna. Whoa! I went blurry. I thought I was gonna say something, but I wasn't. Go ahead. Sorry.
When I met with Ken, he looked a lot better than I had when I saw him in the hospital months before. It was mid-February. Ken rested on his couch near his crackling fireplace with obvious signs of trauma all over his body. I mean, yeah, if you get hit with a Molotov cocktail in your car, you're probably not going to look too hot, even after you could do skin grafts till the cows come home, and
You're not going to look
still
too
gonna look
hot?
pretty
Was that
fucked up.
intentional?
What? Oh, but good one.
It's relative heat now. Relative heat now.
We talked about Walter and the potential representation. There's no guarantee that the news is going to cover this fairly, Ken cautioned. We saw how that all went. Sitting silently, Ken gathered his thoughts. Russell, you have an inspiring story here. You're an underdog. Everyone loves underdog stories. Instead of spending your entire life in a courtroom battling Taylor Swift, write about it. Write a book about the entire Ken, man, Ken really is the troll we don't deserve, but the one that we do need right now.
Thank you, Ken.
Here's
Thank
to Ken.
you,
Let's all take a sip of our beer. Write about it. Write a book about this entire incident. It's a modern day David and Goliath story. I mean, you caused Taylor to release her song in an attempt to hide everything. That's huge. Which she definitely did, because that song was not on a schedule to promote a movie.
Here's what you did, Russ. Here's how effective you are. You forced Taylor Swift to release a song and make millions of dollars.
You slightly upped the release of a song with Taylor Swift and also a member of One Direction up a week or two. Russell, that's power. That's power not even God himself has. You could do more good with this book than another lawsuit will.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. He's much more effective in the book. I love
I'm having a lot more fun reading the book than I am listening to Taylor Swift.
Hey. No. Just kidding. Sorry. Writing had always been my passion. I couldn't believe that I had never thought of writing the entire incident out. My thoughts turned away from suing Taylor Swift a second time to publishing a book about why I sued her. After all, nobody understood my cause of action. There was no guarantee that my second lawsuit would be covered fairly. As I developed the book idea more, I wanted the book to influence people and not just be an explainer sort of book. During my brainstorming, Walter would continue to call me and email me, asking if I had made a decision.
Asking if I had any booze, and could he borrow my car?
Walter, if you're out there, because if you're still trying to get in on that sweet Taylor Swift settlement money, and you're out there, Walter, I need you to contact me. I need Walter. During my brainstorming, oh wait, I read that already. I wasn't sure how to tell him off, as if he wouldn't leave me alone. So I did the easiest thing I could do, and I blocked his number and email, and never, ever heard back from him.
Or got his last name.
Then he sued me. For failing to make representation. Said he would respond to my emails. Oh my goodness. Let me catch up on some chats real quick, and then we can go through more if we want. Bagel Goose says, Null, show us your toes.
No. What's happening?
Just I don't know that you actually have toes, so I'm gonna ask you to DM me a picture of your toes on Discord, and I will definitely not leak it. So just go ahead and do that whenever you're ready. I could just verify that you have toes. Lazarian444 says, so Russ is cheating on Burnt Ken with Walter? Rude. Oh wait, no, that was Lampshade. Lazarian said, I can't believe how much this is like My Immortal. That's Ken or Walter. Walter saving Russell Greer is like my immortal. Yeah, Lampshade says, so Russ is cheating on Burnt Ken with Walter. Rude. Olivier Flamant says, ask Josh why he got butt blasted about the gym docs.
Oh, I
Okay.
replied to this guy in chat. I said I got irritated over the gym docs because people got really mad at me, and I didn't want to put up with it. That's it.
Oh, well, how dare you?
Sorry.
I don't care. The
No,
orange don't you can only be legitimately sorry on this channel. The orange cow says all Taylor needs to do to make things right is give Russell her colonoscopy bag. I think he means colostomy bag, and maybe let him lick the stoma a little. She owes it to him. That's hideous. That's disgusting. That's one of the grossest chats I've ever gotten. Thank you for that.
I'm really happy I don't know what any of those words mean.
Oh yeah, you don't want
No,
to.
don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Nope.
Just stop right there. Moving on out.
No, oh god, it's horrid. It's just lingering in my head right now. Like the licking hole. What's
the turtle buttered stoma hole? Is that we're getting to there?
Like
somebody's gonna clip that and make it their Twitter avatar now. I don't know why you would do that.
Nick, you have a really long tongue.
Not long enough. Not long enough to get into that stoma. Oh god, it's
Puke.
That is-
Puke on stream. Puke on stream.
The
No.
orange cow, that is filthy, man. That guy from that thing says, thank you for alerting me to the racist behavior of my toaster. I'm seeking legal recourse for bread losses amounting $32.60. Will you represent me against your... Oh, we're taking... What brand of toaster do you have? Is it an Oster toaster? We're taking those scumbags all the way to the bank. Bagel Goose replied to you, Null. He says, you dirty feeder, show us your toes. So the toes need to happen at some point. And then Landon Mackinjames says, the ultimate display of cuckery, paying $400 to take or $4,000 to take a hooker to Olive Garden. Also, Null, let's see those toes, Daddy, please. We want
No, it's not happening. Being accosted.
That's foul. Should we go ahead and read chapter 11 while we're here?
Yeah, it's the whole book is less than 10 more pages.
Yeah, we might as well wrap it up, right?
Let's do it.
Let's wrap it up like we're going on a date with Taylor.
All right, chapter 11. My ultimate bigoted backstage experience, and that sounds like innuendo about some ebony homoeroticism. All right, the colorful stage lights illuminated off of me as I sat in the third row, dressed in a suit near the stage at the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City with a group of other fans who had purchased VIP backstage passes to meet and see a famous female artist. It was mid-March. Due to this artist's lawyer sending me letters warning me not to put her name in this book, I will refer to her as Anna. Anna, a popular, young, beautiful, Grammy-nominated artist, strided out onto the stage with her background dancers. My heart raced as I saw her in person. The tickets had cost me close to $1,000, but I had spent all of that money in a desperate attempt to get Taylor Swift off my mind. I figured acceptance by another celebrity would get me over my depressed Taylor Swift thoughts. Kind of like how I went after Taylor to get over Murphy.
Kiara the hooker. Kiara the hooker. Kiara. Her name's Kiara.
Yeah. I never, definitely that one's censored.
Wait,
Yeah.
why is a woman's name Murphy? Can you explain this to me?
Murphy Brown. Have you never heard of Murphy Brown?
No. What kind of name is Murphy? I've never heard a woman named Murphy my entire life.
What kind of last name is Moon?
Good one. Thanks for asking. It's Korean. The president of South Korea is named Moon. Thank you very much.
Really? Did they kick I'm not up to date on my Korean politics, obviously.
Yeah. Also, isn't the head of the UN Ban Ki-moon?
I wouldn't know. That's
We don't know. We don't know the answers to these
The current
questions.
Secretary General of the United Nations from South Korea, Ban Ki-moon.
I guess I don't keep track of the UN. I don't respect its existence. It's an illegitimate international organization.
I agree with you. And just as an FYI, my boomer powers have fixed the Stream Me chat. I apologize, Stream Me chat, for neglecting you for so long, but you have to factor in that I'm a complete idiot and just couldn't figure out how to fix it. Also, the menus on the Stream Me settings are ambiguous. I had to turn it on to trolls mode.
I put it on sub only too, because it's like a switch, and it indicates that the right side of the switch is to enable non-subscribers to post, but it's actually the current setting on the left side. I remember doing that on accident too, and then once you set it that way, it changes like 4 other settings too, and you have to go through it and switch them all off, and it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
You went ahead and got yourself thrown right off.
I had to turn off audience participation on my Twitch channel because everybody kept saying the N-word.
You should stream on Stream Me, where apparently you can just say whatever you want in the chat, and Twitch can't touch you.
Listen, I've already been banned from Twitch once. I don't want to get banned again. Guys, chill out.
I
got one more sentence, and then we can.
Oh yeah, sorry.
While Anna was very beautiful, she had a reputation for being a snob. But I don't judge people without meeting them, so I didn't care what other people said about her.
He literally wrote an entire book judging Taylor Swift, and then says he doesn't judge people without meeting them.
Have you ever met her?
Of course not. If he was ever in the presence of Taylor Swift, there would be a saliva goo colored covered photo of her immediately after.
Like a ticket to meet her in person, like he did with Ariana Grande.
I don't know.
No, Taylor Swift does not do meet and greets, as far as I know.
You know, I did a meet and greet once.
How was it?
With who?
It was actually really fulfilling. It was in 2013, I had gotten really addicted to an artist named KFA, and I put up for like one of the largest contribution levels for a new album at the time. And I got to eat sushi with her in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was a really great experience. She was very engaging in person.
How big? What was the contribution level?
It was 500, but at the time I was working, so I could justify that.
Oh, that's not as much. That's not that bad. I was thinking you were gonna say like $6,000 or something.
Oh no, she was a very small artist. The venue she played at had like a 300 people like maximum count. Sure. But I really liked her stuff, so I was like, fuck it, you know, I have one opportunity to meet this person who I've listened to all of her songs, and I think she's awesome. And
did she let you feed her sushi?
No, she did not let me feed her sushi. I did not pick chopsticks and push sushi down her throat. That did not happen.
No, I figured they were, rolls that were nicely wrapped up. You could have just used your fingers. You didn't need to.
No! This is not my fetish, Nick. It might be yours, but it's not mine.
I just listened to the internet. I don't know. I think I read it on the forums.
Everything on the forum is true, so it must be true.
Sriracha, I think it's you. Sorry.
We sure we're not done talking about sticking fingers down people's throats?
I don't know what Josh does in his spare time with the money that he spends on various
not hookers
artists.
On not hookers. At least we hope. It's $500. It's pretty cheap. Unfortunately, though, like anywhere I go, people judged me. Anna's guards stereotyped my disability. You know what, whatever. We'll be here all day if I start getting semantic. Since I sat on the edge of the third row, I sat feet away from 3 of Anna's security guards. The guards laughed at me and mocked my disability. They talked amongst themselves about apprehending me because I appeared to be drunk. I wanted to ask Anna a question about being a songwriter for her, but I was frightened that the guards would assault me, so I didn't get the chance. Oh, let me fill in a couple blanks that I'm sure everybody has in their brain right now. There is a fantastic, Nick, you and I should read through this at some point. There is a fantastic, somebody actually showed up to the trial between Ariana Grande and Russell Greer, which ended up obviously being John Smith and Russell Greer.
Yeah.
And the judge really just ripped into him over this. Someone transcribed almost the entirety of the interactions between the judge and Russell, and it is truly hilarious. I think it's even on page like 150 or around there on the Russell Greer thread. It is so much fun to read. I read through it last week just for shits and gigs, even though I've read the entire thing multiple times.
We'll have to. Yeah, we should do that. That can be the next one. That can be the epilogue. To the,
yeah, no, we got to.
Yeah. Where were we? Oh yeah, and so yeah, we've covered that. Josh, you understand Anna is Ariana Grande, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you were planning to become a songwriter for a, massive pop recording artist, is it not the best possible method to just go to the concert, to buy front row tickets to the concert, and then to try and approach her while you look like a murderer who's definitely gonna hashtag not a date Ariana Grande? Isn't that the best way to do it? Like with saliva covered resume in hand, like screaming at the front, like, "I'm gonna write songs for you."
He had a backstage pass. Did I misread? I thought he had backstage.
No, we're gonna get to that part. The way I interpret this, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about how this concert went down, because this whole series of events is very bizarre. The way that I'm interpreting this is that Anna Smith or Ariana Grande first she came out and she did a little like meet and greet with the fans, and then she went backstage and everybody got the chance to take a photo with her and talk to her. No gifts were allowed, by the way. That becomes important later, so remember that. It was an explicit condition of buying the badge that you could not bring her a gift, because they don't want anybody stuffing flowers with rice in and handing it to Ariana Grande before her concert. And then after all of this, she puts up with all of this bullshit. Then she has to perform for 2 hours. That is how I interpret the series of events.
Well, let's see. Oh, sorry. I'm drinking gin. Navy strength gin. It's great. I'm going to save a sip for a little bit of bird feeding in a little bit. A half hour later, I stood in line with other VIP fans to meet Anna in person directly. When it was my turn to meet Anna, one of her many bodyguards held open the door to the tent that Anna stood in. When I walked into the tent, Anna looked very beautiful, but she immediately formed a disgusted face upon seeing me and my deformed face. I felt so ugly and little. Well, those are both true. To all of the people before me, Anna had told them how beautiful they looked. Trying to brush aside her rude expression, I made conversation with her. Hey, Anna, just so you know, I'm the guy who got you flowers, I said to her, hoping for a warm response. But Anna stared at me the same way Austin Powers had stared at the mole on the mole's face in Austin Powers 3.
Chop it up and make guacamole.
Yeah, because she was probably thinking about how much ricin you stuffed to those flowers.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I don't believe that happened. I'm gonna be the conscious objector. I'm gonna say that is a misrepresentation of what had happened.
I saw that. I hope the audience, did you see that? I saw that.
I failed.
No, I was talking. I don't know what he did.
Did you, Nick? Can you focus on your camera and do that again, please? I think the audience missed it.
Yeah, the audience thought, "Oh, it's still dripping. Oh, it's disgusting." I had to lick the gin off my fingers.
Just like Russell licked the white creamy goodness out of Kiara the hooker.
Oh God! It was
This is a Christian stream. I don't know why
yeah,
you're bringing that here.
Shit. That's right. I'm going to hell.
There's nothing more. Oh God, that was worse. There's nothing more Christian than licking the stoma.
Ow! cease and desist.
Whose turn is it? Whose turn is it?
Josh.
Together, the pop star and I looked at the camera. Trying to be smooth, I put my arms. Ew, this is unwarranted contact. Trying to be smooth, I put my arms slowly around Anna. Unsurprisingly, Anna made a weird noise, like a "don't touch me, you freak" noise. Well, if it's unsurprising, why the fuck would you do it?
Why? What?
Wait. I'm going to reread this. Unsurprisingly, Anna made a weird noise, like a "don't touch me, you freak" noise. Next sentence, I couldn't believe it. Unsurprisingly, next sentence, I couldn't believe it. Well, what the fuck? One of these statements is false. You have made a situation where one of your sentences is wrong, Mr. Greer.
Wait a minute, but like trying to be smooth, I guess because he's taking a picture with her, so he has permission to at least be in proximity. But trying to be smooth, like I think he literally thinks that I did a meet and greet with Ariana Grande. If I just go ahead and grab her by the hip, right? Like, we're definitely going to get married and have babies within 9 months. Like,
yeah, what was he thinking? Was he sitting there like, oh man, this is definitely where she's looking for a dude to hook up with after the show, the fan meet and greet full of 12-year-old girls?
Well, you should know that the way you attract pop stars is you hold out your pinky and go, "Are you an actor?" then they can't reject you.
Yeah, Russ, why don't you use the "I'm an actor" line? You almost killed yourself over it a chapter ago. You'd think that would stick in your memory.
Like, at this point, there should just be a train track following Russell around, waiting for him to jump back in front.
So somebody in chat posted, unsurprisingly, 2% whole milk. I couldn't believe it. Okay. After the picture was taken, Anna looked at me with a disgusted look and grumbled, "Thanks for the flowers." My heart was again trashed by a celebrity. I couldn't believe it. For the second time this paragraph, something couldn't believe it. Slowly, as I shuffled out of the tent and went to a bathroom and cried. I was half tempted to leave and not stay for the show. To make a long story short, I went to the concert and my place was right next to the stage. After the concert, I again was assaulted by the guards verbally and physically. My right to an enjoyable evening was stolen from me because I looked differently. But since I had gone through hell with Taylor Swift, I didn't want to start a commotion about Anna. I tried to be happy, believe it or not. I posted my pictures on my Facebook because it was cool that I did meet her. It just sucked because she hated me.
Hey guys, I found a real picture of this encounter. I'm gonna put it over our faces. So if you've got the stream pulled up, you'll see it. You'll see it right in just a second here. That's a real picture of Russell Greer meeting Ariana Grande. Oh.
I'm really excited to see. Man, this lag. I really want to see.
I hate. Yeah, the 20-second delay is brutal, but it should be there now.
Oh, there we go. There.
Yeah.
Russell, you've gotten taller.
He was very tan for this picture.
It's all that milk he's drinking. His bones are growing.
Well, and Horatio, to be fair, Horatio had just firebombed him this time instead of Ken. And this was post-burn Russell Greer. That's why he doesn't have any hair and why his skin's a little crispy.
The skin grafts.
I actually don't know if that's Russell or if this guy had just already read Russell's book and was like, "Ooh, I'm going to be at a fundraiser with Ariana, and I know how to handle this scene."
What are you talking about? That's Russell. Looks exactly like him.
just like him. Ooh. Oh, that's a man of the cloth, ladies and gentlemen.
Weeks later, when the backstage meet and greet photos were available for viewing, I was stunned to see Anna passionate in every picture except mine. She had a disgusted look in my picture. It made me sick to my stomach. I tried talking to her manager about the entire incident, but amazingly, Nick, believe it or not, she ignored me. Who could have possibly predicted? Even though I was given his direct email, I'm sure you were giving that and you didn't find it on some fucking stalker website.
like some Kiwi farms.
Yeah, no, is this lawyer on Kiwi Farms? Or is this management on Kiwi Farms, Josh?
It might be.
Her manager is secretly Melissa. The word duty came to mind again. Amazing. I'm sensing a theme. All of my past research processed through my head, and the calculation formed in my brain that Anna had failed to provide a safe environment for a disabled person, per Utah law that requires places give disabled people equal rights in places of amusement. The word place was in that sentence about 6 times. Surely equal rights also pertain to not being assaulted.
Nope, that's where they stop. They're like, whoa, we're looking to give a lot of equal rights out. However, the assault, that's where, no, we don't want equal rights.
Laughing at people is
You have to
illegal.
build a wheelchair ramp, but nothing stops you from shoving the cripple down the wheelchair ramp after you build it. That's fine.
At least it wasn't the stairs. As long as you yell that out when you shove Tonka down the wheelchair ramp, you just have to scream, at least it wasn't the stairs. Sorry. To my hesitation, I came out about what Anna did to me after a terrorist attack prompted me to reveal what she did.
Horatio!
Wait, what terrorist attack?
Yeah.
Someone that was the Manchester bomber bombed an Ariana Grande concert, and Nick is laughing at terrorism. Everybody screenshot this.
Oh,
So, wait.
wow! I forgot that happened to her.
It didn't happen to, let's be clear, it didn't happen to Ariana Grande either. It happened to a bunch of Brits who went out to buy tickets and went to her show.
12-year-old British girls that got blown to pieces at her concert while she was performing, and she had to watch it. Yeah, that's
what
awful.
What the fuck were you guys talking about? It happened to Russell Greer in Utah, who never left the United States of America. I don't know where you guys are getting this shit.
She must be taking that stem cell juice that makes you stay young forever, to have the kind of karma that results in Russell Greer and then having children blown up in front of you. Like, you have to be doing some pretty evil shit for that kind of karma. That's not everyday normal.
Can you imagine the thought process that goes on? Like, breaking news. Bombing at Ariana Grande concert. Children's body parts littering the streets of London. And Russell's like, I have to tell my story.
It's time for me to come out with the truth after all these children have died.
Is he alluding that it's her fault? Like,
yeah, obviously.
I can't take it. What is... Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Ooh.
Who started it, Null?
I need a minute. Oh, wait, we're still on this. Who was reading that chapter?
Or
that
paragraph?
Okay, we're not at the middle. We're still at the beginning. I'm sorry. Okay. I felt obligated to hold her to her higher duty that public policy dictated. See chapter 1 if you don't know what I mean by public policy. I sued her because her or her manager never offered any explanations or apologies or fellatio. Since the guards were under her control, because again, we know that Ariana Grande is the one dictating orders to her security guards.
Yeah, not the security company that she hired.
She's the security expert. She is Kevin Costner, and she is telling them what to do.
She also orchestrates terrorist attacks.
It's like how he attributes every malicious thing that happens to him as a direct coordinated attack by Taylor Swift. It's like, these people got other shit to do. They don't even manage their own concerts. They got other people for that.
They don't even read their own emails. He thinks Ariana Grande is fucking Saddam Hussein.
Are they gonna send the US
hiding in a cave somewhere in Iraq? It's Ariana Grande eating rats to survive.
and then afterwards, Trump comes out and is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got him." And
It's like
everybody's
a Scooby-Doo thing. Trump pulls his mask off and it's Ariana Grande.
After Ariana bombed all those children, she dug a hole in the middle of London and just hid in it for 9 days.
And Russell was like, she's gone too far.
Oh my god. Okay, since the guards were under her control, she was liable. She was the one running the shindig. Nope, that's the manager. Manager, several layers of separation between pop star who sings songs and looks pretty, and people actually making a show function, selling tickets and managing security. Yeah, he did use.
He chose that word. That wasn't you making fun of him. That's what he said.
That was an unironic shindig in the wild. Steve Irwin would be proud. To some, it may have seemed like I was truly litigious. No, Russell, why? She was the one. Oh, wait. But on the contrary, I just wanted celebs to put their money where their mouth was. So he doesn't want any money on his penis. And abide by their superstar status and duties. Psst, read chapter 1 if you don't agree.
We're on chapter 11. I'm pretty fucking sure we read chapter 1. We didn't skip.
I mean, it's kind of.
To be fair, you did. You skipped all the way to 9.
Well, that's because of extenuating circumstances, okay?
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of nice of him to assume that if you read chapter 1, you definitely subscribed to all his weird bullshit, so you could just put it down in the bookstore. Don't invest your money. It's like, oh yeah, no, go back and reread if you guys forgot about the batshit insane things I said in chapter 1 that you agreed to.
Early August came, and I felt that I had a very good shot at winning, since the harm had happened directly in the jurisdiction, and I had solid evidence. What evidence? What evidence? There's no evidence here. To my confusion, though, I somehow showed up half an hour late to the trial. The time got mixed up in my mind, and I had hired John Smith. He was on a warpath to bring me down. The judge was different than the last trial judge, but this judge, just like Judge Harris, had reeked of BI, kind of like BO for body odor, which is short for bias.
For bias. BO body odor. BI bias.
It would just be B. It would just be B, Russell.
It doesn't need to be short. If you include the periods in the acronym, it is the exact same length. You did nothing. You actually wrote an entire sentence to explain what BI means instead of just
judge
bias.
Reeked of BIAS, which stood for bias.
It wasn't even a trial for Anna, though, like it was supposed to be. I didn't even get her in the courtroom.
She promised me.
Can he sue her for not showing up in court? Was that promissory estoppel? It had unfairly turned into a trial against me for irrelevant things I had said. I had written stupid comments on my Facebook, and John Smith, like the scumbucket he was, purposely twisted my words, and I almost got arrested in the courtroom. Oh my God. You really fucked up, buddy. John was such a drama queen. If you were the one almost getting arrested in the courtroom, you really fucked up. I don't think you're the one being a drama queen. You know,
yeah,
as somebody who has a lawyer in my family, I happen to know, and I'm sure you guys both know, that Facebook is the best way to win your case. People will confess to the dumbest shit on Facebook publicly, and you just yank that off and say, look, he said it. He pled guilty on Facebook. I win.
Actually, the reason why Russell almost got thrown in the clink at this trial was because he posted on Facebook that he was going to, I believe I'm saying this verbatim, but someone is going to correct me, kick Greg Scortis' ass. And also that there was, quote, going to be blood in the courtroom.
Oh my God. That's not smart.
How do I How do I send I don't know, how do I send milk to Russell Greer?
Whatever happened to you corresponding with Greg Skordas? Is he gonna come on the show? I miss him.
I don't know. He
He's got
stopped
hookers to beg.
he stopped answering me, and then I got very busy and haven't followed up. So I will.
I mean, after this stream, I'd stop answering you too.
I'll mention this here since it's more topical. I mentioned this last time I talked to Nick. There was a while where he was threatening to sue me, and I kept saying, "Do it, do it."
Russell,
and then
Russell, not Skordas. Skordas was not threatening to sue
Greer. You're right. It was threatening to sue me, or threatening to sue my company or something. And he just kept saying it. And at a certain point, I was just like, "Oh no, don't throw me into the briar patch. I would be torn to shreds in the briar patch." And he never did sue me, but I was kind of taunting him to do it because I had emailed Skordas and I said, "Look, I have no money whatsoever, but this guy's like a creepy weirdo. And if he sues my company, I can't even answer it pro se because of how that works." And it's like, would you be willing to represent my company pro bono, or seeking relief seeking your money from him if we won, if he were to sue me? And all he said in reply was, "It would be my pleasure," sent from my iPhone or something. That was the entire message. And I was just like, oh, it would be so much. I would get like a little suit. I would fly out to Utah. I would have fun.
Yeah, the good thing about small claims court is you don't have to like do a bunch of paperwork. I mean, you can, but for the most part, it's all done on oral pleadings, right? Like you file your initial complaint, which is usually just a disaster because it's written by a non-lawyer, and then then the people go in and they just hash it out. They get a court date right away. So I'm sure Skordas probably would love to just go in and make fun of Russell in court without having to do any like heavy lifting on drafting documents and stuff like that.
Somebody asked in chat, can he be forced to fork over Bitcoin assets? I don't know what Bitcoin assets you're talking about. I have literally 0 Bitcoin. I don't even know what a Bitcoin is, sir. Preposterous accusation.
What? I don't believe Bitcoin is real.
Good news, because it's not.
That is real, not Israel. So just so we're clear on that.
Just make sure.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to say that on. Okay, so is it? Wait, Sriracha? Is it you?
Good God, whose turn is it? Hang on, where are we?
Unsurprisingly, John again.
Unsurprisingly, John again brought up the lie that I had sued Taylor Swift for a date to establish not a date, to establish a pattern of my, quote, frivolous, litigious, and crazy behavior. To my frustration, trolls secretly filmed the trial and put it up on YouTube and other sites. For example, that loser Kiwi site.
What? Oh, gosh. We got a shout out.
But in this book, it's the Kiwi orchards. It's not the Kiwi farms.
I'm not going to assume if he mentions me. Please.
Are you sure you're not going to sue him?
Mention me as many times as you want. I implore you.
No, God. He's talking about your direct competitor, the Kiwi orchards. Someone register that domain immediately.
No, I really hope you don't take this the wrong way, but God, would I love Russell to sue you.
Oh, it would be fantastic. I would love to see what address he sends it to, because I know he's going to get that wrong right off the bat.
He's going to send it to that Pentacosta. What is it? The one in Florida?
What?
Luckily, I wasn't arrested, but I was fined for speaking the truth. The fine he is talking about is the judge was so frustrated with Russell's bullshit that he awarded Greg Skordas $1,500 in attorney's fees on behalf of Ariana fucking Grande. She might be a millionaire, but she does not have to deal with this.
Oh.
Just like all other truth speakers, I had been punished because the judge, nor John, wanted to open their minds, which goes against all legal precedent, as judges are required to analyze situations broadly. I don't even know what those last 3 words mean.
Neither does he, because so many court documents, opinions from judges contain the words, "We must construe this narrowly." Like the whole idea that judges are required to analyze situations broadly is generally the opposite of truth. and they wouldn't use the word broadly. They would use narrowly or liberally, liberally construing something. Broadly is too vague. It might mean womanly, right? Like that's why they can't say it. Is that true? I don't know if that's.
I don't. You know what?
Let me hit a couple of these chats real quick. Or wait, we have a couple.
One more paragraph.
One paragraph, and then I'll do chats, and then we'll do. Okay. As the trolls filmed me walking out of the courthouse, parentheses, none of the news stations showed up because John had again threatened them. I'm sure that's what he was doing. I began to wonder if my white knight efforts were worth the repercussions. Sidebar, they never are. They're never worth the repercussions. No fake, fat-faced judges wanted to listen to me or look at my evidence. Even when I cited the correct laws and the correct precedent, nobody wanted to listen. Everybody just laughed. They didn't analyze the facts. They only analyzed me. This entire incident was one for the books. That's why I signed it Chapter 11 for this book.
Can I just point out the hypocrisy of him calling the judges fake fat faced? Like, why are you making fun of somebody's face, buddy?
Andrew, wait, because you piss your pants every time anybody talks about your disability.
Okay, real quick. Bagel Goose says, thank you, Nick, for the new Twitter profile pic. I think that was the tongue through the lips. Landon Mack and James says, want to know what really makes me a rage? Me having to miss your stream the other night because two of my friends invited themselves over to drink my booze. That's not cool. They should have brought booze with them. Metacurist Murdochian Archiver says, we're going to Chernobyl. Josh, you cannot escape.
And absolutely. That guy lives in Ukraine. We're going to go to hit up Chernobyl.
Oh, that'll
at some point.
That'd be hilarious. Don't go by the elephant foot. I hear that's like a quick death sentence.
I'll take Greer to show him that.
If you take Greer to the elephant's foot, it would cure his face. Metacurist Murdochian Archiver says, also thanks for the mod, you boomer. Metacurist, this is for you, buddy. Notice the shirt I'm wearing? That's right. That's a Sweetie Squad shirt.
Oh, God. I bet you Jim hates that shit. I bet you he hates it so much.
Good. Suck it, Jim. Lampshade says, Anna doesn't like flowers from square-faced artards? Probably not. Did the flowers have a droopy petal like on one side consistently?
They were wilted on the one side only. You know what you should do? You said artard. You should use the Kiwi Farms filter and call them exceptional individuals.
No, that's what he wrote. R-tards was the actual chat. I was reading. I didn't have to.
If you get the actual word, you should use exceptional individual. That's my favorite. Statement.
And then finally, Crocodactyl says Magnus did nothing wrong. Layman Russ yiff and warp. I never considered that Layman Russ is definitely a giant furry. Oh, that's disheartening. That's really depressing. The biggest furry, truly tremendous. All right, so is it my chapter? Who finished that? No, I just finished that. You're up. Yes. Chapter 12.
I like how there's like precisely 3 paragraphs for each chapter, so I always get to open it. it's very princely of me. Chapter 12, quick blurb on the overhyped Colorado DJ trial. I also really appreciate that all of his chapter titles includes Irver in some context, so I get to trip it up each time. Towards the end of the summer of 2017, Taylor Swift was on trial for probably the dumbest case I've ever seen. No figure. No figure.
I'll contest that.
Some disgruntled DJ claimed that Taylor Swift had falsely accused him of grabbing her butt at a backstage meet and greet in 2014 when she was on her 1989 tour. This DJ was understandably fired from his job, and so he sued Taylor Swift and others for harms suffered. Apparently, the doofus wasn't hurting too bad for money because he got himself some fancy pants lawyer. As a side note, I have absolutely no respect for this guy. That all aside, it was a he said, she said case. Well, I'm glad that even after he got metaphorically stabbed in the heart by Taylor Swift, he still white knights for her. And her ability to destroy people's lives with random claims.
Nick, what happened in this trial? I did not pay attention to this.
I have no idea. I'm sure it was just dismissed because the guy couldn't produce any evidence. Oh wait, no. What did?
Why
happen
is
this-
he suing because she grabbed her ass, or he grabbed her ass?
I think he was suing her for defamation.
She
must have
claimed
produced-
that he grabbed her ass and that got him fired.
Yeah, so he sued her for that, and I think they just produced a picture of like it's from the front, but it really looks like his hand is. Let me find it. We have the internet. DJ grabs Taylor Swift. What? No, he's definitely
There's no way.
not.
There's no way he's not. It's like right up there.
Hold on, it's coming. It's coming. Hold on. Here we go. That's for.
He's got like a creepy pedo stash too.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Wait,
Not a good look.
I screwed it up. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Yeah, there he is, guys. That's him definitely not grabbing Taylor Swift's rear end.
Where is his hand if it's not on her ass? That's what
Yeah,
I
is he
would
like-
ask if I
He's
was.
either hover handing her or it looks like it's right over the crack too. Like that's where it's placed.
Looks like he's going for the full Elmo with that one. I mean,
I really like that these courtroom drawings of Taylor Swift look nothing like her.
Oh my gosh.
Look like a 40-year-old character actor on CNN.
She countersued for $1.01, says Lampshade. Lampshade, who is not a he. I apologize,
She.
Lampshade. I apologize.
Laughably, the guy had no evidence. I read through his complaint months before. He was grasping at straws, just like he was grasping at Taylor Swift's sweet thong line. I felt so sorry for Taylor and her mother. Not sorry enough because he wished her mother would die of cancer and get wrecked, bitch. Since they had to go to trial for the weird DJ. Even though Taylor hurt me, I believed her in this case. She had no reason to lie. In fact, with everything explained in Chapter 1, public policy dictated that Taylor Swift be an example and tell the truth. Whatever the fuck that means.
When you said that he said he wished her mother had died of cancer, I'm just imagining a scenario where she's dying of cancer and she goes to visit her at the hospital and posts the picture of them at the hospital, and then Russell Greer makes a complaint about how she's visiting elderly, sick, dying cancer patients in the hospital.
Yeah, did your mom even write you a song, Taylor Swift?
Yeah, what did she do for you, bitch? Come on now.
Why would you do that to me? Frustratingly, the guy got an incredible amount of news media attention, not butt cheek, over something that he had no evidence of! Exclamation point. I couldn't believe it. That's where the exclamation point should have been, Russell. He did interviews here and there. Fox News and CNN covered the trial. It was broadcasted everywhere over the dumbest thing imaginable. When I had tried to tell the news about my case, which I had rock star evidence of, the news directors rolled their eyes and made excuses. That was if John Smith hadn't already warned them about me. The logic for allowing a hokey lawsuit to be covered internationally, but disallowing a lawsuit to be covered that I had solid evidence and arguments for, made very little sense. Now, interestingly, Sriracha, correct me if I'm wrong, but earlier in this book, was he not complaining that his lawsuit was getting international coverage?
I mean, this book is titled How I Became Internationally Known, so he must have pride in it on some level.
Yeah, because he was complaining that the Daily Mail or the Daily Caller or whatever had an unfavorable article.
Get my story covered by Dora, but she said, no hablamos, exceptional individual.
Made very little sense. Unlike the DJ, I didn't want my 15 minutes of fame. I only wanted to bring awareness to an unfair situation. But my character was assassinated. and I ignored when I came out about the truth. Really, it all fell back onto the automatic believability that stems from one having a lawyer and the other, me, not having counsel. The media reminded me with their coverage of the DJ of how biased they were. If the news wouldn't listen and report, then my book would tell all.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we're in the last chapter, guys. And this chapter is the end. The story has ended actually 2 chapters ago.
Yeah,
Lucky
But
number 13.
he doesn't know how to end this book at all.
This is about, I think this is personal motivation or something. Is this my turn?
Nope.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Mine. I am the prince of the chapter opening.
That's true.
of the stream.
3 paragraphs.
Chapter 13, Fighting the Taylor Swifts in Your Life. Oh, geez. As I sit back in my chair at my desk, hands rested beside my laptop, I contemplate the past year. It's October 2017, a whole year since I had decided to sue Taylor Swift in what started out as an attempt to get her attention to the situation. Little did I know that the entire thing would backfire on me. Little did I know that I would discover that Taylor disliked me. Little did I know that I would reach infamy internationally in every time zone. Little did I know that I would lose friends, housing, and employment over this. And little did I know I would discover things about myself that I probably wouldn't have discovered if none of this had ever happened.
It's been about 10. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just dying. I'm trying not to audibly laugh. I can't. Okay.
I'm just imagining him the way he describes it. Okay, sit upright in your chair, and then put both hands on your desk and stare forward intently in contemplation. That's what he's doing, and I just imagine him with his his default facial expression, just like staring ahead intently in like somber, self-righteous fury, thinking about the last year and how badly he screwed himself over. And that's my head picture for that paragraph.
Yeah, I mean, he has shockingly ruined his ability to do anything ever. Like, you feel bad for people, or I do. I feel bad for people when the internet like tries to ruin their life to some extent. I don't really feel bad when someone does something that ruins their life without the internet's help at all.
Well, it's like you look at internet drama and stuff and what affects people in their daily lives. And like me hosting the forum and the things people say about me, it affects my life. But on the plus side, the one thing I can say that's never happened to me is I've never been arrested and I've never filed vexatious litigation. And like nobody wants to risk knowing or associating with somebody who fires off random lawsuits, because even if somebody's like a nasty person or has a nasty history, the second they become like an active threat to the people they talk to in terms of legal situations, like that hurts your reputation more than anything, I would think.
That's why I'm always surprised when I see people like not to bring this back to Maddox, but that's why I'm so surprised when people like still support Maddox and are like, yeah, he was right or whatever. It's like you realize that if you were in the same position, he would do this to you. That this is his response.
Yeah, LA is a hot car though, so if you're in there, you're gonna die together.
You're up, Sriracha. Sorry, my chuckling derailed it.
No, you're fine. It's been almost 10 years since my high school jail experience. Oh yeah, by the way, no, he went to jail at the beginning of this chapter. It's not important.
What?
It was yesterday. I can still remember being a scared 18-year-old boy standing in front of the black and white height measuring device, having my mugshot taken by a deputy. I can still remember my jail cell door slammed tight and the sound it made when it electronically locked. I can still tell you who the inmates were in my pod and what they looked like. As if playing on repeat, I can still tell you when I saw Taylor Swift on the jail TV playing within my eyes. Playing within
What?
my eyes.
When I said that, when I went on that tirade and said that I've never been to jail or been arrested and I've never sued anybody, what did he go to jail for? I didn't think that he had actually gone to jail. When
He went to jail for maybe writing a kill list and also maybe bringing a gun to school.
What?
Yeah, we had, well, we didn't have one of his high school classmates on earlier. We had one of his paralegal course classmates on. But basically, what Russell might have done is he might have gone into a bathroom stall and written down a list of people that maybe needed to die by name on the bathroom stall wall. Like he might have allegedly done that and then gotten arrested for it. And then through some serious legal chops gotten out of it. And not his chops, obviously. His chops are paralyzed, but the legal chops of someone that his foster family hired and paid quite a bit of money to make it go away. But yeah.
How old is he? Like right now?
He's in his late 20s, I think. 26, 27.
Oh, so this is like post Columbine, post 9/11. Yeah, don't do that. don't make kill lists at school. You will go to jail for it.
And also maybe all of the people on the kill list were females that he wanted to date.
I mean, we're getting out into crazy town now.
I know, it doesn't sound believable based on this narrative we've been reading, but
I remember when I was in high school, I went to Niceville High School, so maybe it's just because it was just such a nice place. But I remember we had one Muslim girl who wore a hijab, and she had a massive circle of friends, and everybody adored her because she was different. Everybody else was like 99% white school. And then I remember there was like a crippled kid who was a bit weird, and he walked with crutches, and he had a girlfriend that was normal. So I think if you're just not shit, you can get a girlfriend in high school. I don't think life is that hard.
I don't know if you understand the caliber of woman that Russell deserves. He deserves.
I'm saying that he seems nasty. I don't know, like, what makes somebody so nasty? Because he's been nasty for a while.
I don't think you get it, Josh. Russell will only settle for Ariana Grande.
Oh, okay.
He'll settle for her.
So he needs a 10.
He'll settle for her after being rejected by Taylor Swift. Like he'll settle for Ariana Grande. That's the Russell Greer mindset that you're dealing with. And there's a reason you can't fathom it. It's because it's just red-pilled truth. That's all it is.
You're not black-pilled enough yet to understand that Russell deserves pop star poon.
You gotta read Gorilla Mindset, and you've got to live Gorilla Mindset to understand why Russell knows that he can get Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, and Ariana Grande.
Read that book?
No.
I think there is a Amazon review for that. Like, I read this book to try and learn how to be more alpha. And in the 5 years since, I've lost my girlfriend, I've lost all my friends, my family doesn't talk to me anymore, I lost my job.
Oh, but, not 5 years, 5 months.
Oh, 5 months. And it's like, well, okay, well, first of all, even if you feel better acting like this, it clearly has a detrimental impact in your life. Second of all, if you've got good family, lots of friends, a girlfriend, and a job, what do you think you're doing wrong? It seems like you've done pretty well. Be happy. What's wrong with you?
Sriracha, you're like best friends with Cernovich. Care to speak to this?
Mike Cernovich invited me to the premiere of Hoax and then forgot to send me the address of it. So I'm a little goddamn salty. He told me he couldn't send the address because Antifa, they were concerned about Antifa hitting the New York premiere. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I emailed him a couple of hours before the actual showing. I was like, hey, just checking up on that Antifa thing. He was like, oh my God, we're all already here.
If Mike Cernovich were to invite me to the premiere of a movie, I would bring Bronx Blogger with me, except I fear the AIDS, so I actually wouldn't.
I would bring toast.
You'd bring toast?
Yeah, avocado toast. Like, welcome to our city. Here's our specialty. It's avocado toast.
Okay. Where are we? Here we are. Here we are. Sorry. And even after all of these years, I can still hear the warden ask sternly, "Who is Russell Greer?" That question has followed me through all of these years. During my first year of college, as a confused, helpless missionary sweating around down in Arizona, unsure in what he believed in. As a college student again, working 2 jobs. As a paralegal graduate who couldn't hold on to his 2 words in this instance, Russell, who couldn't hold on to his professional jobs because of his desired dreams of spending years writing a song for Taylor Swift and then suing her. But through all of that, I feel that I have finally answered that burning, haunting question.
Who is Russell Greer? He's a flawed human who does his best, and he doesn't get credit for his efforts. He's a regular guy with regular emotions. Given his acquired anxiety, he can do and say things he doesn't mean, but he's never purposefully malicious. He tries to treat others as he wants to be treated. But what I have found about myself, Russell Greer, is that I don't give up. I'm a fighter. I keep going, even if it means going up against the odds. I was born in a difficult situation and have found myself in unfair circumstances because of discrimination against me for being the way I was born. Despite the unfairness of my life and of the brutalizing efforts at trying to impress Taylor Swift, I'm still standing amidst the wreckage of my Cloud 9. And I wanted to share with you, my reader, that you too can keep standing even after you seemingly lose everything. Don't legal advice. Don't take life advice from Russell Greer.
He's just a regular guy with regular emotions.
From actual accredited Juris Doctorate holder Joshua Moon.
Juris Doctor! We covered this already.
That's what I'm referencing. Thank you. See, it's not actually legal advice if I claim I hold a degree type that doesn't exist. That's legal advice as well.
Oh, that's smart.
That's just a regular guy with regular guy emotions.
Just a regular fucking guy. You see, we each have a Taylor Swift in our life. Yes, there is that beautiful blonde. Yeah, no, we all literally have a Taylor Swift in our life.
She's one of the most well-known people on earth.
Yes, there is that beautiful blonde pop star who is naturally in everybody's life because she exists and because her face is plastered everywhere and her music plays on every platform. But figuratively, we all have a Taylor Swift. We have that thing in our life that we work so hard for, but it gets wrongfully snatched from us.
Oh, that sounds... She's not like an object.
She is.
You can't just lasso her and drag her back to your Utah sex dungeon. That's not how it works.
And then she gets lassoed back by Greg Scortis.
Is he riding shirtless on a horse while he lassos?
No, he's riding shirtless on some whores.
And a big bag of cocaine. He has lasso made of cocaine.
He just pulls a baggie of cocaine down and rubber bands it around his head and just breathes pure coke.
You reminded me of a joke I was going to make but forgot a long time ago. I was going to make a joke that the story would have been better if Walter had invited him to make crystal meth with him. That would have been a more interesting story than the fake lawyer who put himself in unnecessary liability.
Where were we? We have the thing but she gets wrongfully snatched from us by Greg Scortis' cocaine lasso and dragged back off to his Salt Lake City sex dungeon. We all have that thing in our lives that we work so hard for, but it gets wrongfully snatched from us. Whether it's a promotion that's given to somebody else who doesn't work as hard as you do, or a new car that you see advertised for weeks, and when you finally have the spending money, the guy in front of you buys it off the lot.
Because he can't make another one.
No, I don't think Russell knows how car sales work. In addition to the long, teeming list of everything that he does not understand, cars is also on the list.
I really wanted that car, and now it's gone
forever.
I'm just imagining some horrible transformation fetish porn with a Taylor Swift car, like immobilized and parked in a used car salesman lot that Russell Greer is haggling over. It's the stuff of nightmares. Thank you for introducing this to my head.
That
Sure, Taylor
2014 Ford Fiesta in green was the only one. It was the only one Ford made. Oh.
So what do? Do you speak up or stay silent? Truly mystery.
Some people will tell you that to say nothing is better than to say something at all. Wait.
Oh God.
Those people will tell you that to say something will only burn bridges and make you unwanted enemies with others. No, to say a particular something will only get you enemies, Russell. But I disagree. To say nothing only robs yourself of justice. In the end, only you matter. So it really is your choice. This is a bad Mormon. If you stay silent, nobody will know the truth of the harms you allege. If you speak, yes, you run that risk of being labeled hurtful names. But you also are able to release that lion. Truth is like a lion. Release it, and it will defend itself. But not against Greg Skordas.
Or getting fired from law firms.
Greg Skordas can tame a lion. He's got like an army of hookers that can help him out with that shit. He doesn't need help. As you stand at the crossroads of whether you should speak or stay silent, the choice of what you're going to do faces you. Okay, that seems redundant as a statement, but you and you alone you and you alone can only make that determination of whether that Taylor Swift in your life is worth pursuing. Is it worth bringing attention to if it gets snatched away from you, or it leads you on and creates a misrepresentation, leaving you wronged and harmed? That's also redundant. And if you do not speak up, if you do speak up and speak out about the wrongs you face, you must make that choice and determine if you are going to run and hide when the blowback comes, or if you're going to stand and fight. And I really appreciate I got the worst written paragraph of this entire book. I'm really happy Russell Greer went with the first draft of his writing his consciousness down on paper, because that entire paragraph means literally nothing.
Yeah. I can't wait. What we're gonna spoiler alert when we finish the book, since this is an inspirational and motivational chapter, I think Sriracha will agree with me that we have to watch his motivational America's Got Talent audition.
Oh,
God, yes, there'd be
no.
no better way to end this book.
Yeah, that's what's gotta happen. That's what's gotta happen.
And
Okay, you're up.
my readers, let's go ahead and close this out. Wait, no, there's one more paragraph. But having experienced this for myself, I am here to tell you: stand and fight. Shout from the top of your lungs and bring attention to the situation. You may be slandered for it. You may be harassed for the words you speak, but it will bring awareness, and awareness causes change. Even if 1 billion people on this planet hate you for the words you speak, influencing that one person who listens to you is worth it, because that one person can share what you wrote with others, and others can in turn share your words, which can cause change. I don't get it. If everybody in the world hates you except this one person, I don't think this one person helping you is gonna, it's like an anti-vaxxer thing, right? And even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. Speaking the truth has never been a popular thing, especially when it alleges facts about a person whom the majority of the populace love. Martin Luther King, Malala Yousafzai, Russell Greer. The truth isn't to be popular, it's to bring awareness. And even if you lose everything for the words you speak, you can still be the last one standing, because you are the person on this planet who allows a loss to be truly seen as a loss. I don't even understand the words coming out of my mouth anymore.
I literally have no idea what you're saying.
You can tell in this chapter that he wanted to write some pseudo motivational stuff, and just to close it out, and he had no concern whatsoever for what he's saying, so he just bashed out the first draft and never read it twice. and that's what got published in his book.
I think you're giving him a lot of credit saying he edited any other chapter.
Yeah, that's a big jump. I'm not
the
ready
other
to
ones
take
were
quite yet.
legible. They had a train of thought I could follow. I have no clue what he's trying to say in this. This is just like paragraphs of nonsense.
Speaking of nonsense, let's jump right back into it. Yes, free speech isn't free. Neither are lawyers. It comes with consequences. Instead of viewing bad results as consequences, though, look at them as sacrifices for speaking the. What a terrible outlook. Instead of viewing bad results like, oh, this chemotherapy isn't working. It's a sacrifice. Let's keep doing it. For speaking the truth, view negative outcomes as a sort of one door closes, a better one opens experience.
But who knows? Maybe speaking the truth will land you $1 million contract with your own television show. That's how it usually happens. A much better deal than I went through, losing friends, employment, and home. Like, look, it's a big gamble. On one end of the spectrum for speaking the truth, you got $1 million television show. On the other end, losing friends and job and home. That's it.
I'm just imagining what he thought his TV show would be like. I can just imagine him on MTV, like the show Up Next, Why I Sued Taylor Swift, and it's like him mumbling out like motivational nonsense, and then after he leaves the stage, like a picture of Taylor Swift is projected on the wall behind where he was standing, and the audience just starts booing like the 2 minutes hate from 1984. That's the only thing I can imagine for him.
My moderator Tess brought up a good point. She says lips to the last paragraph. So this is for Tess. Okay. I'll start over. It was one sentence. But who knows? Maybe seeking the truth will land you $1 million contract with your own television show. A much better deal than I went through. Losing friends, employment, and home. Sincerely, I hope you don't ever have to endure what I did for seeking the truth. It is my hope that maybe you'll be honored through the ages for the words you seek. Maybe you'll have statues and murals done in your likeness. Maybe parades will be held for you and your birthday will become a national holiday. Maybe followers will start a religion after you with your words becoming biblical and studied daily. Whatever your heart may be, and no matter what kind of Taylor Swift you have in your life, always speak. You never know how powerful your words can be.
Bravo.
Well, let's hear it, guys. Let's hear it. That is the book.
I'm just imagining like a mural of Russell Greer. I'm imagining Martin Luther King Jr. talking about segregation as his Taylor Swift, or Jesus Christ talking about the Romans as his Taylor Swift. And I'm just filled with contempt.
I imagine a mural of Russell Greer and being one of those like surrealistic paintings where they have multiple things happening that wouldn't naturally make sense, where he's there like mouth agape and a big thing of drool, and then like a beautiful woman washing her hair under, like maybe a Taylor Swift or an Ariana Grande washing her hair under like the drool waterfall that's coming. That's the mural I picture. I think
very artistic.
I think that would sell massive amounts.
That's disgusting. Don't ever say that again.
Okay, we've got 2 chats, and then we will close out with some inspirational words from Russell himself, not from an impression, but from a real Russell Greer. Landon Mackinjames says, "I'm gonna draw an anime illustration of Null's toes." That's horrifying, but you should. Tillip says, "Now the 3 of you read Sonichu." We're not going to do that on this stream, but Sonichu is one of the potentials. We've got some more Russell to read, though. I think we've got that transcript. We've got his essay on why he wants to make your daughter have sex with him for $500.
$500, just $500.
$500. We're gonna do that. Cormoran says, Rackets, several chapters back, I mentioned an Asian fake lips adult film. Unfortunately, it's all in moon language, so I could never find it for you. However, Pornhub kinky fake lips. Enjoy the horror. The horror. Well, that sounds horrifying.
Send it to me. I can speak moon runes.
I think he was saying he can't type in moon runes to find the lips from Japan. But maybe. Okay. So I have to do this real quick. Let me hide that, and then I've got the clip ready. Do you guys want this clip, like a link to it, so you can listen at the same time, or do you want to just mute your microphones and be like 20 seconds behind with the chat? What do you guys prefer?
I've seen this more times than anyone involved in this stream, so I don't need a link.
Just throw it up and I'll watch it.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna hit play, and you guys will see this 20 seconds later.
For the longest time, I was mad because I had a disability. Now I am happy, and I like to joke that I'm the world's best ventriloquist. I'm here tonight to tell you that you can overcome your disability by doing these 3 easy things. Accept it. There's no point in being mad about things that can't change. And maybe I can't change this, but I can change how I deal with it by using a slideshow so people know what the heck I'm saying. And free and dance.
Yes.
I'd like to invite you to come and dance with me.
Oh yeah, get it, Russ.
Maybe I'll click.
Get it, Russ. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I hope you are warmly inspired by Russell. Oh.
Yeah, I've had quite enough Russell tonight, I think.
I almost feel bad for him, but at the same time, he's just like such a nasty person. It's like
No, he's a huge shithead.
Yeah, when we first started doing this, like I felt bad a little bit about mocking him with the lips and stuff like that, and then about on chapter 2, I got over it.
Yeah, it's I remember when it first got to the forum, like when the Russell Greer people in the forum have had an uneasy relationship with me because I didn't like them at first. I tried to give them their own sub forum where they could post updates about them, and then they only posted in one thread anyway. So I merged the forum back to one thread and moved it back, and they got mad at me for that. And I just remember, like, you know, there's so much more to talk about this guy than just his face. They all made face jokes about him. And then I realized, oh, they only do it because it pisses them off so much.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's like on one hand, it's like, yeah, that's a legit like shitty disability to have. I feel bad for him when he talks. It's really pitiful and depressing. But at the same time, it's like he could probably do well for himself if he wasn't such an insipid piece of shit.
Yeah, the real disability is up here, not down here.
Being a stupid piece of shit's a disability. In which case, sign me up for SSI. Because
on the topic of vexatious litigants, you have Melinda Scott and you have Russell Greer, right?
Yeah.
And their lawsuits are incompetent for like 2 different reasons, but kind of in the same way, where they hold a truth in their head to be the truth and are unwilling to learn at all. And they continuously make the same mistake without ever even questioning in their head if that mistake could belong with them, and they continue on making the same mistake. And it's like, is there like what does that to somebody? Where they are,
Narcissism.
is it narcissism? Is that just what it is? Because it's like
It's either
they're quite clearly in the wrong, but they continue with it.
I'm not a psychology. I think it's either narcissism or like histrionic personality disorder. But where they like, so Russell and Melinda have this thing where each of them thinks that anyone who opposed to them hates them, or anyone who calls them wrong hates them. Like they must be right. They have to be right. Everybody else is wrong, and it's all motivated by bias. So like the funny thing with Melinda is that if she just listened to you, she could go to a lawyer and they would either tell her, look, you don't have a case, or maybe she'd find the one lawyer who's like, well, maybe we've got a case with this thing, right? But instead, because you have said something contrary to the narrative in her head, she just has decided that it's only because you hate her that you would say anything at all, and that you must be discounted. And so they'll go seeking anybody who will affirm what's going on. And that's really an unfortunate thing.
Well, with Melinda, it's like I suggested, lawyers give free consultations. Like that's their thing. They want you to hire them so you can come in and they'll give you what they think about your complaint for free, because they want you to pay them. And, she rejects that categorically because she says, she asked me in response to the advice, go to get a free consultation. She asked me in reply, are you going to pay for my child care services as I go to get a free consultation? I'm like, there are lawyers that will come to your house if you are seriously overburdened. Like, I'm sure there's at least one who will do it. If they're hurting for work, they'll come talk to you at your house. But I mean, you can go there with your kids. And I say, you can go there while they're at school. And then she's like, well, that's just ignorant because I homeschool. I homeschool all my kids. I have a matriarchal family with female empowerment. It ain't the 1950s anymore. I'm like, well, if it's not the 1950s anymore, you can go to a attorney on your own autonomously. You don't need help.
Yeah, hire a male babysitter then and go to an attorney.
What does your husband do?
Female attorney.
Well,
can he not look after your kids on his own for an hour?
In fairness, her husband might not be allowed to be alone with the children. Right?
That is such a good note to go at.
Like that's I don't know that because I didn't look to see if he was on the registry, but he pled guilty. He might be.
And it's not just me. The judge has written the same opinion like 3 times where it's like,
oh, he basically copy and pasted the one from December to this one. I think he added 1 paragraph.
The things he copied over were the insults.
Yeah.
He made sure that was there twice in the first and last paragraph. He made sure all the things I said about her were present in his opinion. But it's like, just listen to his advice. You don't have to listen to me, listen to him. He's a federal judge. He was appointed by Bill Clinton. He's as far away from a biased opinion as you can possibly get.
Nope. He went against her. He's biased. That's how it goes. Not biased, by the way. I've learned from Russ. It is just bias. Yeah, just
Reeks of BI.
That's 2 syllables.
All right. I think that's about all we've got. I mean, that's the end of the document. And that's the end of the chats. This stupid series has been way too much fun.
It's been truly eye-opening, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've got a couple more Greer documents to cover, so we'll have to make that happen in the near future. Gojirify. This is for you guys. I answered this the other day, I think. If Chewbacca and Spock were in a shower, who would soap who first?
Probably Chewbacca would soap Spock first because Chewbacca has a lot of hair that requires the attention. You just get that out of the way.
I've never seen Star Trek, but I have seen Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and only that one. And I think that Chewbacca would soap Spock first because he loves the Porgs taught him to put other beings before himself.
Now, would he use a porg as like a shower sponge? Like, would he pour soap on the porg and squish it and like try and lather it up?
Oh, imagine not that, but imagine if he had a little bit of shampoo and he just rubbed it on the top of his little feathers. That'd be so cute. I don't even know who Spock is. I'm sorry. Whoever asked that
Spock
question.
He's a Vulcan logic engine from Star Trek. He was second in
Oh,
command on
I thought he was the captain by the famous guy.
Ah.
No, he was second in command to Captain Kirk.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you to my guests, Null and Sriracha. I really appreciate you guys coming on. Null, you should read the rest of this book. It's not a long read, but it is infuriating. Or you could just watch. You could just watch the videos that I've done, but that's probably take you a lot longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the book would probably take 30 minutes to bust through. Listening to the reading of it would take like 16 hours.
Yeah, that's maybe not quite enough, but something like that. But yeah, so thank you. Of course, thank you to Sriracha for introducing me to the wonders of Russell Greer's book and Russell Greer. And
you're welcome, buddy.
And thank you, of course, to the chat and to all the viewers. So you guys make this fun to do. And we will see you soon, I suppose. So have a good night.
Take it easy.